All right, what's good? Sorry, man, running a little bit late this morning. What is happening, man? My man, Ray Wallace in the building. What's going on, sir? Be Easy in the building. What's happening? P Johnson, what's happening? My Nuke, Chillville, what's good? Big Shrek in the house. What's happening? Gilbert Jimenez, double time on the Gilbert Jimenez. What's going on, Big Shrek? HMC in the building. What's going on? Jay Spence, Mike Kirkland. What's going on, brother? Thank you for all the support, man. Always good to see you out there, man. Jay 50 Bands, what's going on? L Asante L, what's happening? Ray Patterson, Rick Bell. I got Rick, Big Shrek, MM Pride. Mr. M Pride, what's going on? Jackie Hernandez, always nice to see you, my lady. Angry Nick fan loyalty. Last man to get beat like that was Wilder, and Wilder don't want no more smoke. Check Fundura's gloves. It might be the same one Fury had. Yeah, okay, whatever, man. I don't know, man. I don't know about you, brother. Be Easy, what's going on? Just a fan, what's happening, man? Freddie Jimenez. What is this? Zamarion Quintanilla, what's happening? Dwayne Jones, Almighty in the building. Donito Lopez, what's happening, man? All righty, we got everybody present and accounted for. That is what's up. Hold on one second. I got to check on something real quick. So it is fight week for Errol Spence Jr. versus Yordenis Ugas. I am amped. Let's make it hot. Oh, man, I'm looking forward to this weekend, man. I am definitely looking forward to it this week. Looking forward to it this weekend. Oh, that's disappointing. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Definitely looking forward to it. Looking forward to it this weekend. Who y'all got? Why you got it? Let's chop it up. Terrell Jr. said, Fernanda Don, you don't know much. You don't know how much your inspiration in your live OG. You're the only reason I tried in life, bro. Keep doing your thing. And KQK, what is that? And KQKC boxing all, brother. That's what's up, man. No, you don't know how much. Let me see this. I don't understand what you said. You don't understand how much you're an inspiration in my life, OG. You're the only reason I try in life, bro. Man, you gotta keep trying, man. Keep doing your thing. You and KQC boxing all love, brother. That's what's up, man. Hey, man, just keep on trying, man. Don't get down on yourself. You got to keep it pushing. My man, I can't read that name. Said I go with Ugas, but since Spence will eventually beat him. Shout out Slipping and Dim says, shout out, brother. Fanon and the chat. Yes, sir. Shout out to you, brother. Jackie Hernandez. Hernandez in that cash in the let me do this real quick, man. Where am I? Let me get off that. Little tad bit of a disappointment. Ain't that bad of a disappointment. It's what I expected. Here, let me hit this, man. Let me hit this. How do I get into this? It won't let me get into this thing. Funny. Okay. Trying to look real quick just to see what that says because I can't see on my stream. Oh, yeah. Kisses to you. That's what's up. Thank you. Thank you very much, man. Chillville says Spence only beat flat-footed fighters. Really? That's not true. That's not true. You think Sean Porter's a flat-footed fighter? You think Kell Brook is a flat-footed fighter? Why would you say that? Kell Brook ain't flat-footed. Sean Porter's not flat-footed. Lamont Peterson isn't flat-footed. Those guys aren't flat-footed fighters at all. Quite mobile fighter. Barbara Davis said, I got Spence, Fanon. That's what's up. Yeah, I think most people are going to get Spence, man. I'm just excited about the fight, Barbara. I'm excited. This weekend of fights was okay. It was a good start. I was happy with the fights this week. Yeah, Lamont Peterson is not a flat-footed fighter. He will fight in a flat-footed fashion, but he's not a flat-footed fighter. That dude can move. There's several guys that are really good. Chillville in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for your support, man. Thank you so much. Much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you. Yeah, Chris Audrey wasn't flat-footed. There's a lot of those guys weren't flat-footed. You know, I don't see that. What was his last fight? Mikey Garcia is not flat-footed. Mikey Garcia is not a flat-footed fighter. Mikey Garcia can move. I wouldn't say he's a flat-footed fighter either. No, man, I think that's probably a little bit unfair, man. What's going on, Stoner Bars? Facts over Field said Algeria. What about Algeria, man? What about Algeria? Oh, William Old School Art in the building. What's happening, man? Good morning, King. Team Spence. Team Davis. Down goes Canelo. Hey, man. Canelo ain't going down. He said, Noop, you right, five. Yeah, dude's fought some cats that ain't flat-footed, you know? He's fought top man, dude. I'm telling you, man, Errol Spence Jr. has fought very good competition. It's not very, very... Now, am I going to the fight? No, I'm not going to go to the fight. I'm staying home, man. I'm staying home. I'm not sparing the expense for that one. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sparing the expense for that. I would like to be ringside for that fight, but I didn't get the tickets early enough, and nah, man, I think I'm just gonna stay home. Dwayne Kane Sr. said, "Good morning, Fanon. Salute one of the greatest boxing channels in the land. Much respect. Keep up the great content. You are appreciated." Thank you, Wayne. Hey, thank you, Dwayne Kane Sr. I appreciate it, man. I am gonna tell you though. Now I'm done. I was doing the Saturday shows. Hey, am I calling the fight? Yeah, I'm gonna call the fight. That one I'm gonna call. Even though, dude, I really do prefer to just be able to watch the fights. You know what I mean? I prefer to be able to just watch the fights. Dapper Dub, but for that fight, I'll call the fight. I'm a Fundura fan, very impressed. He's going to be a problem. Yeah, he is, man. He is. I don't like all this stuff getting put on his name, though, man. I think it's a little bit unfair to the kid. I don't know. I mean, like, talks about his gloves being loaded and all of that stuff. I think that's a little bit unfair, unless they catch him with it, you know, or like you see him with a picture where it's like, oh, wow, you can see the guy's fist coming through his glove, you know? I just really think that from what I can see, Lubin just caught 100 uppercuts, you know what I mean? Lubin just caught 100 uppercuts. And if your face can wind up looking like that, if you're a guy that long, that big, keeps hitting you in the face with uppercuts, man. But he definitely lumped his face up, gave hematoma on his forehead, all of that, man. Errol said, Fanon, who do you think would win between Crawford and Ugas? I got Crawford over Ugas. Be a good fight, though. But I would definitely take Crawford over Ugas. Safe, but I'm taking it a safe bet. You know what I mean? But I'm taking it as a safe bet. I'm not guaranteeing that he can do it, you know? All Might said super unfair. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know the guy did it for sure, and you just have kind of like, you know, anecdotal evidence, like the fact that it took him too long to take his gloves off and all of that, I don't know, man. I just think, you know, I don't know. That's not enough for me to say, oh, yeah, you know, I suspect this guy of having loaded gloves because it took him too long to take his gloves off, you know? I have a suspicion, though, the next fight, though, if anybody worries about it, that they'll look. Now, the funny thing is, though, I did see that interview, that clip of that interview by Ness in the Boxing Voice where he said that there was no bug. Provided that clip was accurate, you know what I'm saying? If there was no drug testing for it, that's shady. You know, I would think that all of these fights would have drug testing. I don't know, you know, to what extent the drug testing would be for fights that are not championship fights, but you would think that there would have been drug testing. And it's from the clip that I saw, it sounded like that's what he was saying. Now, I'm not going to say the person that put up that clip from the Boxing Voice was lying, right? Or was manipulating the tape or whatever. I'm just saying that I didn't hear it in real time, so I'll just go off what that soundbite says. And if the soundbite it accurately represents the conversation, right, which it may do, it may not. But if it accurately reflects the conversation, that's kind of funny. And it is the second time that somebody has said that, because Jermell Charlo also raised issues about the drug testing for Brian Castano. So it's not as if, you know, for the Brian Castano fight first time. And he was saying how this time he was doubling down to try to make sure that the drug testing was right for this fight. Yeah, that's just, I don't understand why that would be the case. And it would be interesting to understand why that would be the case. Because I'm not of the We said go to his IG page. Yeah, I saw that. That's where I saw it. You talking about Fred from Barbershop Conversations? That's where I saw it. I'm surprised. Yeah, I saw that. That's where I saw it. I'm subscribed to Fred Silent Heroes. I think it's Silent Heroes, right? I'm subscribed. I follow Silent Heroes on Instagram, and Silent Heroes on Instagram is where I saw it. So what I'm saying is, what's going on, Skills from New Orleans in the building? What's going on, man? So what I'm saying is that if it fairly represents the conversation, which I don't have any reason to believe it doesn't, seems like he just took the question and he took the answer and he clipped it and he put them together, or he clipped it right after that. So I didn't hear the whole conversation. However, from what I saw, it sounded like he said that there was no testing for it, you know? So if there is no testing for it, that seems to me to be a little bit shady. There should be, that's a high level fight between Erickson, Lubin, and Fundura. And if you have somebody that is that big, you know, and he's making a weight that small, there should be drug testing, because people be on all kind of like diuretics and different things allowed to help you lose weight, and that would be in performance enhancing. So if you didn't test at all, yeah, that's funny. Now, not testing doesn't mean the dude was on something. To be fair to him, doesn't mean that if there was no testing, it doesn't mean that there wasn't any, that he was on something. To make that leap, I think, is also unreasonable, right? Just like the gloves, he just because his face got beat up like that doesn't mean it's loaded gloves, or the fact that he didn't take his gloves off soon enough doesn't mean that's the case. And in the loaded gloves portion of it, I just don't know what to do with that. I'd be like, all right, well, we'll keep an eye on it. Kind of like Antonio Margarito, where Miguel Cotto and those guys were suspicious of him of that in their fight, and it wound up being the case. He got caught down the line. And I don't care if, you know, about the glasses and the kind of nerdy dress that he has. That doesn't mean he can't be somebody. That doesn't mean he can't be somebody that is willing to cheat, right? That is willing to cheat, but I'm going to wait until he actually gets caught before I can really say anything about that, you know? That's my take on it, right? However, I will tell you, man, Gia said Lubin is seeing out his third eye this morning. Man, that lump, man, he got swole up. That ain't no joke, man. Why isn't there drug testing year round for these boxers? I expect because they don't want it to be. And there's not a centralized boxing organization. And the WBC's not ordering year round. I don't think that they're ordering year round testing. It's on a fight by fight basis, because that's what boxing is. Boxing is fight by fight. It's called, exactly. They'll be like, who's going to pay for it? Are the promoters going to pay for it? Are the sanctioning bodies going to pay for it? Are the fighters going to pay for it? Right? Who doesn't pay for it? You know what I mean? If you don't trust boxing, you might as well not just trust any sport. Because honestly, I think that they're all on that. But yeah, I'm sure that has something. Yeah, the expense of it, I'm sure, is one aspect of it. Also, they don't want it. I don't think it's just the expense. Expense, I'm sure, is a part of it. And it could be a very, very big part of it. But it could also be the fact that they don't want to catch people. And who they is themselves. Canelo Alvarez probably doesn't want year-round drug testing. You know, and it's inconvenient. These guys probably don't want you. A lot of them probably don't want it. Fundura's young, so he can put that work in naturally to get that cardio. Yeah, I mean, he could. He could also be getting help. You don't know. But like I said, unless he tests positive, you know, there's nothing really you can say about it. The no drug testing, though, for those fights isn't even on the PBC. That's on the WBC. If that's the belt that those guys are fighting for, that's not on the managers and the advisors. That's on the commission. That's on the boxing commission. Is who that's on. That's on the boxing commissions. Why would it be on the managers and the promoters? Why would it be on the manager? You know what I'm saying? Like the manager and the advisor. to make sure that there's drug testing, that there's year-round drug testing and all that stuff is happening for those guys. That's not on them. That's on the state commission. Really is who is on. It's on a combination of the sanctioning body and the state commission. If the fight happened in Las Vegas and there's no drug testing for a fight taking place in Las Vegas, that's on the Nevada. I would think that would be on the Nevada State Athletic Commission to be like, okay, we got a boxing match of this level. Where are your drug tests? You know what I'm saying? And they could chart, and the state could do it. But if they're training out of state, you know, how are you going to go about doing it? You better get your drug test or you can't fight, right? If they really were serious about it, maybe they could do it that way. One sports network saying the sanctioning bodies with all them fees they collecting and should be imposed by the network. Yeah, that's a good, the network too. But you know, the network's not into that. The network's into, you know, give me the money. Hey man, much love in that super chat to my man Skills from New Orleans. Said, we can't have it both ways. Not cool to clown Lubin. He continues to fight the absolute best while others continue to play a safe. Salute for 9 at the highest level, man. Salute to you, brother. Thank you so much for your support, man. Yeah, man. I mean, I'm with you on that. I am definitely with you on that, man. Angry Knicks fan Loyalton said, fans need to worry about boxing and stop acting like they know anything about drug testing. Oh my God. I mean, it is what it is, man. Cats want people to be treated fair. That's not unfair. People want, and especially if you bet, especially if you put in your, especially people that gamble. If I'm somebody, because, you know, I wager now and then, definitely support over there at BUSR if you do. Use the promotional code for 9. If people that they want the fight to be fair, man, because they're putting their money on it. They're going to watch the fight. They're paying for the fight. You know what I mean? Lawyer from the Bronx said, Fanon, do you brush your teeth before you do the live streams? I don't know, man. Did I miss a spot? I usually do. Do you come back anymore? What are you talking? You can't even see my teeth, man. What do you mean? Wow, man. Thank you. See you later, brother. Appreciate you though. But let me go ahead and make sure I check. I didn't make sure I didn't miss anything. But when you come back under another name, holler back. Give me 1 second. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything. Wow, okay. You exposed yourself as a troll. I just want to make sure it wasn't under my teeth. Wow, man. I actually read your comments, dude, and I took you serious for a second. Amazing. What kind of jackass are you, man? Wow. You just came out of left field with that, huh? Gotta check it. Angry Knicks fan loyalty. Gotta check it. You know what I'm saying? Gotta make sure I didn't have some food in my teeth or something. You know, because God dog, that would make me a horrible person, wouldn't it? That would make me a horrible person if I had something in my teeth. Wow, man. I was seriously, man. I was taken back by that. I thought you was a real honest dude. You just came from left field with that stupidity. Anyway, he said, you let the troll be successful for 9. I didn't let him be successful. I threw his ass out, Grindhard Sports Nation. Dude, if I had food in my teeth, I'd appreciate you telling me that. And so I would go say, oh, excuse me, make sure I don't have anything in my teeth. That would be rude to be talking to you with something in my teeth, wouldn't it, Grindhard Sports Nation? Wouldn't it? You a funny dude too, Spike Grindhard Sports Nation. Just let you know. Anyway, Keith Notes said, I'll check even when they're being dumb. Exactly. Why wouldn't I check my teeth? You think I want to be sitting up here with like a piece of food in my teeth or something? Anyway, some people don't deserve a response. Nah, man, it is what it is. I didn't know. I got to make sure that everything was good. Terrell Jr. said, I hate when boxing fans act like nobody in the boxing has ever cheated. It is what it is, man. You know, it is what it is, man. there's drug testing for a reason. You know what I'm saying? There's drug testing for a reason. Drug testing is because people want their guy to win, and people want their guy to win fairly. And if your guy loses, you don't want to do it because a guy has loaded gloves or a guy is on steroids or anything like that. That is not an unreasonable thing for somebody that is a boxing fan to want to see. Is a fair fight. Just like if it's basketball, you want to get fair calls. That's what you want. Period. And so not to talk about it it's unrealistic, man. Hey, I just don't know, brother. Thank you. Said I don't have a lot of money, but wanted to send some to support. Brother, I appreciate you, man. That is a lot. Thank you so much for your support in that super chat, man. It does work. It does really help the channel continue to go and grow and be able to do these live streams. So I just don't know. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you, man. So is Victor Conte right? Is Victor Conte right about what? Is Victor Conte right about what? You have to tell me, is he right about what? I'm sure there's some things he's right about in his life. I'm sure there's some things he's wrong about in his life. Is he wrong? Is he right about Errol Spence Jr. not drug testing? According to Errol Spence Jr., no, he's not right. Errol said, and I've been VADA tested ever since the Kell Brook fight. I'm VADA tested for this fight. That's what he said. So if you're talking about Errol Spence, according to Errol Spence, no, he's not right at all. Right? And plus, what did he say? He didn't say that he was. He said that he could be. And so I guess you're right if you say the guy could be, because there is a possibility he could be. If he was, he could. To Errol, it's either I am or I'm not. Errol knows the answer to that, right? And saying, no, I'm not, and I'm tested. He's saying maybe he is. It could be. So, yeah, you're not wrong if you say could be, but that still doesn't mean that that what you're implying and what you're doing is fair. To look at somebody that you have no reason to believe is on performance-enhancing drugs and say he could be, and in a position that Victor Conte is in, that's unfair. Because Victor Conte puts himself out there as an expert on performance-enhancing drugs. And he's saying, as an expert on performance-enhancing drug, I suspect this guy of doing it. He's not saying it in the sense that, yes, generally speaking, that it's possible that any of these guys could be. He pointed a finger at Errol Spence Jr. before Errol Spence Jr.'s fight, and he is considered by some to be an expert on the subject. So his opinion will carry more weight than other people's opinions do, And I doubt very much he'd have said that if he was on Snack. Robert Pickens said, what we going to do with all these judges? Lubin only got 10-9 for his knockdown on the scorecard and winning winning at the stoppage. Fundura got 10-8 for his knockdown. Did another internet boxer get exposed? I'm not sure what you mean. Another internet boxer get exposed? Yeah, I didn't get that. I didn't get why they scored at a 10-9. Sometimes you'll score, Richard Pickens, if a guy is losing a round, then you may score at a 10-10 round, or you may score at a 10-9 round, right? Because before it was going to be a 10-9 the other way. I thought anytime, pretty much, it has to be an exceptional situation for somebody to get a knockdown and not get a 10-8 round. That's what it should be. But at the end of the day, though, Robert, it really didn't matter because the guy got the knockout at the end of it. And obviously a lot of these guys, they had Lubin winning a lot of rounds that people would have thought that he lost, but they gave him the judges were giving him the round. So it doesn't seem like they were being unfair to Lubin on the scorecards. It doesn't seem like they were being unfair to him in the scorecards. So I think all of that, as far as the scorecard, is kind of out in the it's all came out in the wash because of the stoppage, and it was a legit in the towel. Kevin Cunningham's the one that threw the towel in. So that to me tells me that I just think that was a fair decision. Giovanni Walker said, good morning, Mr. Martin. The trolls are waiting. As always, man. I was waiting on that lawyer from the Bronx guy, dude, because I was like, man, lawyer from the Bronx, huh? That's the dude that asked me if I was, if you want to know why I got hot, it's because that's the guy that asked me if I was a cab driver yesterday. I was like, man, you think, oh, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you. You think that you think I'm a taxi cab driver. Like, first of all, are there any taxi cab drivers anymore? I thought it was all Uber. You know what I'm saying? I have not seen a taxi. I don't even remember the last time I've seen a taxi. So are there taxis anymore? Was my first thought. The second thought was, wow, that was a very interesting way to insult me. But I'll take it as a compliment because guess what? There are a lot of people that drive that support this channel. They drive trucks, they drive Ubers, they do delivery trucks. Ain't nothing wrong with earning a living as a driver, man. But, you know, to use that as an insult to somebody, I thought that was pretty low. Anyway, One Sports Network said, isn't that the second fight Cunningham has tossed to Talon? I don't know. It may be more than the second. It may be more than the second. I can't speak on that, man. Lubin didn't do ish. His corner was telling him, hey, man, I don't know, man. It's going to be interesting, man, to see what happens with Erickson Lubin moving forward. But back on that, yeah, my man, Mr. Sanson said truck driver all day, man. That's what's up. Ain't nothing wrong with that. Matter of fact, that's a very, very honorable profession. Got a really good friend. One of my best friends is a truck driver, man. Been driving trucks for years. Really good dude. Happy, too. Debo said, all I want to know is how the heck does a 6'5.5" guy drain down to 145? Hey, man, it's a feat. He's skinny as a rail, though. I'll tell you that. Skinny as a rail, man. Skinny as a rail. No doubt about it. What is weight? Let's see. Weight is. Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I get you. I've been watching Fundora and the highlights for a month. Let me see. The ref is the same ref who gave Tyson Fury time to recoup. Like he did Fundora. Fundora spit out his mouthpiece, man. Fundora did that. And Fundora spit his mouthpiece out. This is what he did. That's how Fundora got that extra time. Fundora spit his mouthpiece out. And then so he had to take a little bit of extra time to go get him. If that would have happened in the closer to the beginning of the round, he may have been able to get it. You know what I mean? Lubin had better skills, and sometimes it does not matter when a man is simply a better fighter. That tall dude can fight. Yeah, he's a very, very good fighter. And I don't underestimate Fundura as a fighter. But he's so, like, somebody compared Fundura yesterday to Paul Williams. I thought that was a very, very, very accurate description of Fundura. He's going to be a tough guy to beat for anybody at 154 pounds, man. He really is. He's going to be tough because it's going to be tough to fight that dude at range, man. Very, very tough. Very, very tough to fight at range against Fundura, man. And yeah, and they threw Fundura in there, man. God dog. They threw that boy in there. You can say what you want about this PBC, about the publication of the drug being whatever it is. I don't even know how you describe the issue. But whatever it is, you can't say those guys don't put those guys in tough. They put those guys in tough consistently, especially at 154 pounds, man. Those guys are always fighting each other. Kamal Oz, man, much love in that super chat, Kamal Oz. Thank you so much for that support, bro. He said, GGG been on a layaway for another Clenell Ho payday. Yeah, dog, for sure. And I don't care about that fight, man. Third simple NSU said, Fanon, how would Fundora match up against Spence? I don't know, man. I'm going to tell you, I don't know. I'm going to tell you, I don't think that he's going to take that. He's not going to make that fight. Man, these dudes need to wait for that dude to take his ass up there to 168 where he belongs. You know what I mean? Getting in there fighting like an oddity like that. It's not, unless he's got a belt, it's not going to happen. But I don't know I don't know. Because the guy is so big. I don't think he wants to fight Errol Spence Jr. like that, though. Trying to fight Errol Spence Jr. on the inside. Errol Spence Jr. can fight on the inside. And he'll get his head off center, and he'll wear that dude's body down, is what I think. And I'm going to tell you something else, man. Erickson Lubin was hurting him to the body, but he didn't go to the body. He didn't stay on the body. This is what he's got to do. You got to stay. He's going to have to stay off the side of that dude, and he's going to have to wear that rib cage out, man. Going to have to commit to it, and you got to get away. Got to get your head to the side of those uppercuts and make him miss with those uppercuts. But then you got to bang that dude to the body, man. And he was hurting him to the body, and I was like, man, why didn't he keep going to the? But then because he kept getting hit with them big uppercuts. Right? I think you're going to have to commit to that dude's body and that guy's ribcage and break that dude down, man. You know what I mean? But it'll be a tough fight because the guy is so big. I mean, when a guy is a foot taller than you, you know what I mean? And his arms, and he's got 10-inch reach on you, that's just geometry, you know? It's just geometry. It's or physics, rather. That's physics. It'll be a tough fight, man. If you spit your mouthpiece out during a knockdown that interrupts your count, no, it doesn't. It shouldn't. But he spit it out after the knockdown. He was standing up and spit it out. He dropped that mouthpiece when he stood up, is what he did. It wasn't out of his mouth. I don't think it was out of his mouth on the ground. I saw it come out of his mouth. I saw it come out of his mouth when he was standing up. So, no, he spit it out. He should have got a point taken for that. You're like, point. But that would have given him even more rest. Point, and clear his head even more. It's just a very, very smart move, man. It was a smart move by the guy, and I think that is a very, very fair thing to say. He gamed it. He got hurt. He was gaming it, and it is what it is. Hey, my man, much love in that Cash App. My man Tyrone Joseph said, "OG, you have a lot of ass clowns as trolls." Yeah, man, this. Man, it's amazing, man. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, there's a lot of trolls, bro. But you know what gets me irritated, bugs me? When cats that are not trolls tell me how to deal with trolls. You don't have trolls, dog. If you sit up here and you deal and you do a live stream every day and you do it for a couple hours and cats keep coming through you and commenting, you got to handle it at some point, man. All right? So please, if you don't deal with trolls, please spare me your advice on how to handle them, okay? Because it makes me think you're a troll. Don't pay attention to that. That's your fault for paying attention. Man, get out of here, man. The dude's in my mouth. The dude literally standing up in my mouth every day running his mouth. Anyway, William Collins said, starting off the week right. Yes, brother, you are. Thank you so much. My man WD Collins in that Cash App, brother. Thank you so much. That's how you handle haters. If you want to give me some advice on how to handle a hater, man, support the channel. Because that's what makes them sicker than anything. And I appreciate it. Thank you. Because it shows support in the face of people that are trying to tear you down. And there's a lot of people that have been trying to tear this channel down for a long time, dude. Richard Pickens said, Lubin knocked his mouthpiece out. I was talked. Ryan Garcia, internet boxer, got exposed, missed that fight. Oh, you were told. Ryan Garcia, internet boxer, got exposed, missed that fight. Nah, he didn't get exposed, man. He didn't get exposed. The guy wasn't in any risk of losing that fight. So nah. Exposed would be an overstatement. He just didn't have a good fight. He didn't look good against the guy. But I don't think he got exposed. I just don't think he looked very good. I think whoever you heard that he got exposed was waiting to say he was exposed. Didn't believe him in the first place, you know? And in boxing, it's amazing. Every time somebody has a difficult fight, they got exposed, right? Errol has a good fight with Sean Porter. All of a sudden, he got exposed because he didn't. If you don't destroy somebody, you got exposed. But not your favorite fighter, though, just to be clear. Their favorite fighter, though, their favorite fighter is growing. You know, their favorite fighter was overcoming obstacles in that fight. You know what I mean? It's just what it is. The man didn't look that good in the fight. He didn't. At the same time, though, that doesn't mean he's not going to look good in another fight. Kamal Oz, much love and that support, man. Thank you for making the haters read some color. Corporate media hyping up Murata to boost Gennady Golovkin. Yeah, he's terrible, man. Murata is terrible. But they're doing the same thing with Bivol. They would do that with the Eastern European fighters in general. They got some good Eastern European fighters for sure. They do. But not all of them. Some of them dudes are straight up trash. My man, Keith Nolan in the building. The openings that Fundura has, head and body, he cannot get away with boots or Spence. They hit way too hard. Yeah, Lubin ain't the biggest puncher in the world either. That is definitely true. I'm going to tell you, it's going to be timber at a certain point in time, and it's going to be timber from somebody. It is going to be timber from somebody you don't expect. That's what I think is going to happen to Fundura. Somebody's going to get in there. Hey, John Boy said, cuz them damn trolls. Thank you, brother, man. Thank you so much for that support, man. You guys are the reason that the trolls are here. I'm telling you. I could be, if I didn't have supporters, they would never come around. I'm telling you. If I didn't have supporters, there would be no issue at all. I would just be somebody talking to one or two people in a live stream, and nobody would have a problem with it. They wouldn't show up. You know what I mean? Trust me, I've never had one or two. I've been blessed. I've never just had one or two people in a live stream. But you get my point. I did have a point in time when I only had 5 or 6 people, 10 people watching the video, you know, because my channel came up, I was doing videos. Logan Little says, Spence, and much love. Thank you so much to everybody that supports in that super chat. Thank you so much for making them haters sick and supporting the channel. Deborah Booker said, here's to all the haters who can't stand to see an educated black man know his boxing and just talk out the side and don't just talk out the side of his neck. Deborah Booker, much love in that super chat. Thank you for being a consistent supporter of the channel. Thank you, Deborah. It means a lot. Thank you very much. And Camille Oz said they had the nerve to compare GGG to Michael Jordan. Yeah, they overhyped him, man. But that's because they were taking over American boxing. That's the line. That was the HBO's line, is that they're taking over American boxing, man. I feel absolutely, I'm going to tell you, you know what I think about Cubans becoming pros? I'm waiting for the excuses. I'm waiting for the excuses for not giving them a shot. Can't wait. Cannot wait to see. I cannot wait to hear the excuses is what I can't wait. Because they just let a country, because guess what? Because boxing's not asking for it. Boxing's not asking for it. The Cuban government, from what I understand, said that they're going to let that they're going to let them go pro. That means that Cubans are going to come over here and get opportunities to sign with promoters and do all of that. I can't wait to see the excuses for not airing their fights. I can't wait for the excuses of you telling me that somebody that can't beat them, why they don't have to fight them. I can't wait. Because the population of excellent fighters just probably doubled. I'm telling you, I can't wait. I cannot wait for the excuses. Why they're not good fighters. They're boring. I can't wait to hear it. Why your fighter is losing to them. Cannot wait. Because those dudes are going to whoop, those guys are going to be whooping up a lot of cats, man. Whooping up a lot of dudes. Not American, by the way. Just to let you know. That just means, he said they still going to leave Cuba once they see the difference in pay. Watch. Yeah, but they can come back and spend the money. They can buy a house. They can come back and spend the money. They don't have to leave. They can still keep their families there because they don't get punished. They can go. They can come back and forth out of Cuba, and that right there is enough. It'll make it easier for them to do it. Robert Pickens said, you owe me 3 gongs for the love. Much love in that super chat, brother. Robert Pickens, much love in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much, Robert Pickens. I appreciate it, man. I didn't gong up too much this morning. Red Crip Sports, brother. Thank you for that support, man. Thank you so much for that support. That's a good picture, man. Thank you for the support. And thank you to everybody for the support, man. I'm telling you, that's what makes them haters come. Demetrius, come to the channel. Demetrius Davis says, Spence stops Fundora inside 9 rounds. Charlo stops him early inside of 5. We all know Canelo ducked the top black fighters with heavy hands. Benavidez, GGG should be the next. But I'm telling you, I can't wait to see why they don't fight him. Especially the UK fighters. I can't wait. I can't wait to hear why Josh Warrington doesn't need to fight this Cuban fighter. Because nobody knows him. Nobody knows him. What has he done? Who's he beaten? All of that. All of that, because that is going to affect those guys. It's not going to affect American boxing. Is not going to be affected by Cubans coming over. Very, very little. Very, very little. We ain't got no problems with Cuban fighters. No problems. American fighters will do just fine. We're fighting Cuban fighters, without a doubt. Do just fine. It's them British guys that are about to get smacked up. I'm telling you, it's them British dudes that's going to get smacked up. And if they got some little dudes, I don't know if they've got real little dudes. And those little dudes at 110, and those little dudes, if they got little fighters, that's a wrap. If they got 118s, if they got some more Rigondeaux running around there, they got some more Rigondeaux running around, that's going to be tough on all them UK fighters. Can't wait to see it, man. Can't wait to see why you do not want to see little Jaime Iglesias at 122 pounds get a fight with Monster Inoue. He never fought anybody. You know what I'm saying? Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait to see why they don't fight when they don't fight Andy Cruz. Can't wait to hear it. Can't wait. How you going to get out of fighting Andy Cruz? How's that going to work? Andy Cruz looked like he'd fight to me. Cuban sleep boxing. Hey, man, Cubans can fight, man. I'm telling you, they got a lot of talent over there, man. A lot of talent. A boxing talent specifically in Cuba. Kamal Oz says, Spence Ugas is the best of boxing. Ugas is quintessentially the American dream. Turned his career around with Ismael Salas. Errol Spence Jr. got a new lease on life. No doubt, man. I'm excited about that fight, man. I'm big time excited about that fight, man. Excited about that fight, man. No doubt. Oh, that's funny. Do I think Canelo knocks out GGG? No, I do not think he knocks him out. I think it is going to be a surprisingly good fight. Is what I think. I think it's going to be a surprisingly good fight. I don't believe Canelo's the same as he used to be. I'm telling you, I'm ahead. I think I'm ahead of the curve on y'all with Canelo. There's a reason why that dude keeps fighting these guys, man. There's a reason. I don't believe it. I do not believe it. I think there's just too much hype around him. I don't believe it. I don't. I think that this guy's on the downslide. It has not showed inside the ring. I'm going to tell you, I don't think it showed itself inside the ring. But I have a very, very, very hard suspicion that is there. Because otherwise, there's no reason for him not to be fighting these guys. And he's over 30, and he's been in the ring. He's got 60 fights. He's been a professional for, I don't know how long. Is he going on 20 years? You know what I mean? Like, he's going on, 15-year pro? 16 year? What is he? Seriously, how long has he been pro? I don't have the numbers in front of me. I know that he's been a pro since like 2010, right? Right? I mean, at least 2000. How long has he been pro? He's been long. He's 31. He's been a professional since he's 15. He's a 16-year pro. He's got 60 fights. Right around that time, man, or before that time, cats start going. And he's not fighting these guys, man. I'm telling you. I'm telling you, there's something going. I believe there's something going on there, man. I believe there's something going, especially with him not fighting Demetrius Andrade. I think there's something going on there. Extreme great competitors, the Cuban fighters, hope they do come all over. Yeah, man, they'll come over, man. Absolutely, man. Very, very. I'm looking forward to it, man. Really, really, really looking forward to it. Freddie Jimenez in that super chat, brother. Thank you so much for your support, bro. It means a lot, man. It makes a lot. Hopefully you got the trolls a little more silent now. And Damon Wester in that building. Are you calling Spence fight live, OG? Yeah, I'm going to try to, man. I don't want to make any promises, man. I don't make any promises because I do the videos the morning after live streams. Man, I'm telling you, calling 6 hours of fights and then getting up right in the morning, man. And matter of fact, getting up in the morning before, doing a live stream, then doing work, then doing videos, and then doing a live stream all night. It's very, very, very tiring, man. It's very, very tiring. And I don't get to enjoy the fight as much as if I just watch the fight, you know? And everybody does it. I used to be like one of the only guys that would do that. Now it's literally everybody does that. Keith Nolan said, Canelo and his fans do a huge disservice to boxing by making their BS excuses seem normal to the point where other fighters will do and say, what has he done? Who has he fought? Yeah, I mean, it's just silly, man. It's a silly conversation. When you know who the guys have fought, you know who they are. You know what I'm saying? Much love in this super chat. You know who they are. They changed. They went from who is this guy? I've never heard of this guy to, well, who are the guys that he fought? Who are the guys that he fought? And man, dude, you don't know half of the people that Canelo fights before he fights them. Like you knew who Rocky Fielding was. Like, man, the first time I'd ever heard of Rocky Fielding was when Rocky Fielding fight with Canelo was announced. The first time I'd ever heard of Makabu was when the Makabu fight was introduced. The first time most people ever heard of Yildirim was when the Canelo Alvarez Yildirim fight was announced. Canelo has multiple guys that he's fought that you never heard of before he fought them. So please stop with this, who is he fought, when Canelo's fighting guys where the question is, who is he? You know what I'm saying? Who is he? I've never heard of this guy before. Who? And it's been multiple times, man, that I've said that. Who? Who is he fighting? Dog, people had this. I knew who Bivol is, right? But there's a lot of people who are like, who? Who is he fighting? I never heard of him before. Who is he fighting? You don't hear anybody saying, who is Jermall Charlo? All of you guys know who Jermall Charlo is. But you find some way to say, but when it's a guy that you don't even know who he is, that's a dangerous fight. You never heard of the guy. What do you mean? And if you did hear of him, you've never watched him fight. And if you did watch him fight, you saw him fight 5 years ago, 6 years ago, whenever that was. You ain't seen that fight. Get out of here, man. Kamal Oz said, clear as day why GGG ducking Boo Boo, Maul, Munguia. He ain't ducking Munguia. Munguia is the biggest duck in boxing, man. Munguia is a fraud, man. I'm going to go straight with that. Munguia is a fraud. I got zero respect for Jaime Munguia. Jaime Munguia is a flat out, up and down fraud. He ain't fight anybody at 154 when he's a champion. He gets an opportunity to fight for the WBC belt at 160 and he turns it down. Jaime Munguia is a fraud, is what I think. A fraud. How do I feel about the Charlo fight? Which Charlo fight? There's two Charlos. Benjamin Newsom. There's two Charlos. One fight I like a lot. The other fight I could care less about. The fight against Montiel, I could care less about. The fight against Brian Castano, I can't wait for. That's what I think about the Charlo fights, both of them. I don't want to see, I'm not interested in the Jamal Charlo Montiel fight at all. Not. Same way I wasn't, or who is he fighting? Did he already fight Montiel? Who's he fighting this time? I can't, Maurice Selecki. I'm not interested in that fight. It's not a good fight. Not interested in it. We'll watch it. Not interested in it. Yeah, Selecki. Same way I felt about the last several of his fights. However, he's not completely to blame for that. Hey, said, go on and throw a fight party. Hey, all right, man, I'll throw the fight party. I'll do it. It's just, man, y'all say y'all showing up and y'all don't show up. I got like 300 people in the building the whole day. Hey, for like 6 hours. Hey, Jeffrey Brooks said, I have mixed feelings about this fight. One part of me, I want Bud to beat Errol, but mean dealing with these cocky Spence fans for another 8 months. Hey, man, you're going to have to, that's the fun of boxing, Jeffrey Brooks, dealing with cocky fans, man. At least they real. At least Terrence Crawford fans really got a fighter where it's a real, where they want the fight. At least you ain't got to deal with, at least you don't have to deal with Crawford fans talking about why Errol doesn't deserve the fight and who is he beat. At least you don't got to deal with that, man. Monty Bean said, go on there and throw a fight party. Yeah, I'll do it, man. I'll do it. I gotta get used to that though, man. You know what I mean? I gotta get used to it. Cause I do, like I say, I do Saturday morning shows. I'm a morning guy, man. That's the only thing that sucks about boxing for me is that it's late night. If I was a late night person, it'd be cool, but I'm not a late night person, man. I like my sleep. I like my sleep. It's tough. I wish boxing matches, like if I can make one change to boxing, I would make the main event. I would start those fight cards at noon, and I would at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, and I would have the main event at 7 o'clock at night, or start at 3 and have the main event at 7 o'clock at night. So we could watch the fight. So I could go to bed after that. You know what I mean? Or go do something after that. I can't stand the fact in boxing that I got to sit around and wait till 1 o'clock in the morning to see a fight. Like, you know what I mean? It's like the timing of it is terrible. Fanan, who did you pick before the Lubin Fundura fight? I picked Lubin. I picked Fundora. What I said was, I think I can't see Fundora winning, but I could be wrong. I said I could not see that in my mind's eye, I saw Fundora winning the fight. But I would not be surprised if I was wrong, because I just could not make a sense of how he could get past that size. So yeah, that was my prediction for the fight. Fanan, what is that music that comes on when you start working jazz? No, that's not. That would be technically be speaking. It's like it's a RZA track with what is it? MF Doom. That's a RZA track with MF Doom, man. Stuart said, I am from Scotland. AM working when your show is on, but a sneaky way and give you okay, thank you, brother. You sneak and give me I appreciate you, brother. Thank you, man. If you pick Fundora, then big ups to you, man. Good job. Yeah, I mean, that's what I said. It's kind of hard to miss that one. You know, because the dude is so big. It's hard to pick against that guy. He's so big. You know? He's so big. But I'm going to tell you, I'm not the biggest believer in him. Because I'm telling you, I think that's a gimmick. They're going to figure that gimmick. Somebody going to figure out that gimmick, dog. That last dude gave him a lot of work, man. That last dude that I saw him fight gave Fundura a lot of work. So it's only a matter of time, man, before somebody gets that, man. Yeah, man, I mess with the Wu-Tang, man. Absolutely. Wu-Tang's my favorite. New York rappers are my favorite, just generally speaking, just let you know. I like rap. New York rappers, in my opinion, have been the best that I was listening to. I don't listen to it anymore. But when I did, I was always like the guys out of New York, because they were excellent out of New York. The same thing when their heroes lose a fight, win a robbery. What is this? When the win's controversial, they won because BoxRec say so. Dude, they won because the judges scored the card, man. It is what it is, man. You gotta take it like it is, man. Harrison Fundura, who you got for 9? I'm gonna stick with the same thing, man. I'm gonna probably say Fundura, because I don't see how he's gonna do it. He's gonna have to, and he's a little bit taller, because I do believe he's closer to 6'1", right? But the inside fighting, I don't know how he fights inside. And I think it's going to be tough to keep Fundura not fight from the outside with Fundura. You know? That's kind of what. Hey, much love in that super chat for that support, Damon Wester. Hey, my man, Tin Trey, thank you, brother. Is this Karan a truck driver? What? This is Karan the truck driver. Oh, thank you. What's going on, man? He said, what do you think about Fundura versus Jermel? I'll take Jermel in that. I'll take Jermel in that, because I think Jermel is going to wear that body out. And Derrick James, I'll bet on Derrick James solving that puzzle. I would bet on Derrick James, man, in that particular instance. I think they'll come up with a very good game plan for him, and he's definitely going to get touched. He's definitely going to get touched, and I think he's a better fighter than Lubin, man. I think he's a better fighter than Lubin. You know what I mean? And if he can stay away from uppercuts, they can win a decision on him, because those judges aren't scoring a lot of that pity pat stuff, man. I think Lubin couldn't get out of the way of an uppercut, man. If he could have got away from those uppercuts on the inside, I think he would have won the fight. He just got hit with so many uppercuts, man. He got hit with so many uppercuts, it was ridiculous. And I don't know how to correct that. Like I say, I'm not a trainer. So you would have to ask a trainer or somebody that is used to fighting taller people, how do you evade the uppercut of a guy that much bigger than you? How do you evade that? Fundura doesn't have a lot of punching power on his hooks in his right hand, on his other power punches when you're that close. His big go-to right there is that uppercut. So he's got to find a way to deflect and get away from that uppercut. And I think he's got to find a way, you know what I mean? I think he's got to find a way to get in there and continue to press the body. is what I think, you know? My man, 10 Trey in the building. Much love in that super chat, brother. He said, I agree. Out to work. I'm out, brother, to work later. Hey, brother, you take care, man. Hey, have a good, safe drive, brother. Thank you so much for that support and that super chat, bro. Thank you. Grab and hold. Yes, yeah. I'm saying you just gotta. How you gonna pull counter a dude that tall? Yeah, I don't know if he's juicing or not, man. I'm not gonna put that on that kid, man. I mean, I'm not gonna. The absence of evidence is not. The absence of evidence is not proof. Okay, the absence of evidence is not proof. I don't know that the man is because he said that there was no testing. I don't know if he is because of that. You know, I don't know that he didn't pass a test, but that's because the test wasn't administered. And it may be money related to that. I don't know what it is. I'm telling you, man, I think these dudes, I think this money is funny. I think this money is funny out there in boxing. I will tell you, I believe that full-fledged, that money is funny in boxing. And these guys probably don't have a lot of money to pay a lot of guys. At least that's what I'm seeing. My man, Kamal Oz in that super chat, brother. Thank you for supporting and continuing the support going, bro. He said, we've seen Fundura Harrison before. Tony Harrison wore down late against Jared Smith Hurd. He doesn't have the endurance and wits. Fundura TKO, 10th round TKO. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't think Fundura hits as hard as Jared Hurd. Jared Hurd is somebody. Jared Hurd I think he's got more power, man. No, Angel Rodriguez, the gynecomastia for a guy that had that when he was 14 years old is not evidence. He looked like that when he was 14. He looked like that when he was 14 years old. There's amateur pictures of him. Damn near prepubescent pictures right after puberty of his chest looking like that. You know what I'm saying? So no, it's not. It's not for him because it's been there on him. He did not develop it in the pros. He had that before. So no, that gynecomastia is not for him. That is not proof because he had it before. And that is not something that doesn't happen in nature. I don't know who he signed with, man. I have no clue. I don't know, man. People don't do that. I don't think people do that. Lawrence Okochoa, why these people automatically say someone's on PEDs when they beat a black fighter? I respect you for being fair. I appreciate it, but I don't think people do. I think that the reason that they're saying that the dude was on PEDs is because there's no test. And Fundora is the one that said that there was no test. So if they're saying there's no test, they suspect a guy that is 6'7" or 6'6", whatever he's at, 6'6", and can get down to 154 pounds, which is unique, right? However, it's not evidence of the dude being it. But honestly, people have been saying this before, and they were not saying it, and they're not saying it just related to Fundora. They were saying it related to the fact that PBC got that these guys are not getting whatever notifications or certifications, whatever it is, notifications on the VADA website. But look, man, I'm just gonna tell you the fact that there isn't a test doesn't mean that he is. I think you're putting that on that. Maybe the only time you listen is when it is around a black fighter. People say that Gennady Golovkin's on steroids and he just fought an Asian guy. People are saying that Canelo Alvarez is on performance-enhancing drugs when he beat a European guy. People are saying it about a lot of stuff, man. My man Benjamin Newsom. I see Shakur losing to Jaron Ennis at welterweight. I see Shakur Stevenson losing to Jaron Ennis at welterweight. That's what I see happening. I don't think he can beat them at welterweight. I would see, yeah, but that dude can fight, man. Yeah, I see him losing at welterweight to Jaron Ennis. If you want to go with somebody where I'm confident that he's not going to win, I'm confident he's not beating Jaron Ennis at welterweight. Other than that, I ain't got any confidence in somebody beating Shakur. I don't. Man, the dude looks like Man, he did. He threw this combo, this nuts combo, man. Man, I don't see it real time. Like, I don't see it real time. Baton Rouge history class, why would Shakur ever do that? He wouldn't. I'm being sarcastic, Baton Rouge. I'm being sarcastic. That is sarcasm. It's sarcasm. Why would he go up to 147? Well, first of all, people have gone up from 130 to 147 before. Floyd Mayweather Jr. did it. So it's not unheard of. Manny Pacquiao has done it. Several people have done that, gone up there and gone to those big weight classes. They have. They've gone up to those weight classes and beyond. However, in that particular instance, I was being sarcastic because what I'm trying to tell you is I can give you a situation where the guy can lose. I'm just saying, it's going to take a lot for that to be the case. For me to be confident that they're going to beat him. He may lose, right? He may lose, but I'm not going to be confident that somebody's going to beat him. I think that dude is like that. I'm a full-fledged believer. I'm a full-fledged believer in Shakur Stevenson as being an excellent fighter, a top-notch fighter. And the only guy that I really would favor against him or close to favoring is Jervonta. I think he beats everybody else. I think he beats Vasily. I think he beats Devin. I think he beats everybody. And I'm going to tell you the reason why I say Tank. Because if he slips up, he's going to go to sleep. That's why Tank. If Tank was like everybody else and he was kind of relying on outboxing you, then I would say that's a lot of trouble there, man. But he doesn't. He's got them guns. He's got them missiles in his pocket. He's got that light out. He's got that lights. What's going on, money team? Salute to you. He's got that lights out. He's got that lights out. You know what I mean? He got that you finna go to sleep type of move. And that's why I'm saying if anybody is confident that your guy who is anywhere around the same size as Jervonta is going to beat Jervonta, you better be real slow. You better slow up on that because he ain't waiting for his man strength. He ain't waiting for his man strength. That man strength is already there, homie. You know what I mean? Hey, good morning, Fanon. Join the show at the right time. Hey, what's going on at Rise Podcast? I'm just telling you, man, and I am not, Rise Podcast, I am not what you call pandering to your camp. I'm not pandering to Baltimore, man. I'm not. I'm just telling you. When you got that, just be careful because you can go to sleep. You know what I'm saying? And he's very fast hands with very big power. You can go to sleep. You can be like, yeah, that fight's going well. What happened? You know what I'm saying? What happened? That's real. That's there for you. And you know what else that means? That also means that you're not going to be doing everything that you think you can do with that. Stepping to him is a danger because he can fight on his back foot very well. And the thing about Jervonta too is that he's got the best defense to offense in boxing. He goes, man, that dude goes from defensive to offensive like that. Like, bow, what happened? See, and none of those other guys have that at that weight class. The only guy, the closest thing to that is Teofimo Lopez's power. But Teofimo Lopez doesn't have it in both hands, and he's not as fast. And he's not as good a fighter. He's not as well. He doesn't have all the dimensions. He doesn't have all the dimensions that Jervonta Davis does. The only knock on Jervonta is his diminutive stature. That's it. But at lightweight, that's really not a problem. Because he's not little for a weight. He's not little for a lightweight. If he was go 140, then all that reach stuff could start causing problems, right? Like it did with Mario Barrios. Mike Kirkland, man, much love in that super chat, brother. You said you think Stevenson can outbox Lomachenko? Absolutely. Yeah, I do. I think the book is out on Lomachenko. That's what I think. I think he's changed his angles with Lomachenko. As long as he's changing angles with Lomachenko, absolutely. He's going to catch Lomachenko, and his shots are so short, he's going to catch Lomachenko with a lot of shots. I think he's going to catch him with a lot of shots. and all of that, like quick hands, all that, man, dog. It'll be a bit of a war. He's gonna get touched up by Lomachenko too. But I'm telling you, man, I don't think I think what he'll do is I think he'll take away a lot of the volume of Lomachenko. He'll take away the Lomachenko's biggest strength is his volume. And with Shakur being a southpaw and him being so tight with his punches and quick and accurate with his punches, he's gonna cut that dude's if he cuts down his activity level, he's gonna beat him. So yeah, I would think he outboxes him, yeah. But in the sense that he will be able to limit, because of his ability to move well on the outside, he will limit the output of Lomachenko, which is Lomachenko's greatest strength, is his punch output, right? And by the way, the precision of his punches as well. Incredible punch placement. But Shakur Stevenson's got great punch placement, as does Jervonta Davis. Jervonta Davis has massively underrated placement. My man, Julius Ledesma, said, Fanon, if you like early fights and you should host the zone fights when they're hosted in England, you know British fighters are your favorite. No, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah, much love in that super chat, bro. I'm not a night guy, man. I'm not a night owl, man. I get tired, man. I get tired in the evening. Seriously, it's tough. I got to take big naps on fight days in order to really be able to enjoy the fight, you know? And even then, dog, seriously, at 1 o'clock in the morning, I'm like, man, I'm gone, man. I'm out. Oh, yeah. I saw they about the same size. Yeah, they're not, he's not any big. He's got longer arms. He got longer arms than Tank. He got longer arms than Tank. But, nah, man, dude, first of all, the dude is going to get beat up, man. He's going to get, on the real, this is how I see that fight going. And I could be wrong, but this is just how I see it going. I see Jervonta Davis just waiting for that dude to gas out. As soon as he pushes him back, or just pushing him back, getting on the inside, pushing him back, and if he can get on the inside of Rolly and force Rolly into fighting a fight on the inside, he's going to kill Rolly. I mean, if he can smother Rolly, he's going to kill Rolly on the inside. Kill him. If he pushes him back, makes Rolly fight on the back foot, gets on the inside of Rolly Romero, if he does, or here, like if he fights Rolly like Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought Zab Judah and just put him on the back foot, put Zab on his back foot and just kept pressing forward on him, dog, that is going to be tough. That is going to be tough. No joke. Potato Chip 777. Fanon, what wins do GGG have to convince you that he was a Hall of Famer? Been questioning this since Saturday. What wins does he have? First of all, Potato Chip, the question was this: is he going to go into the Hall of Fame? And I said yes. My answer is because people are going to vote for him. However, if you want me to tell you why the things that he has done, it is because he defended a belt 8 times. He is a two-time unified champion at welterweight. He's been one of the best middleweights. He's been one of the best middleweights in the world for about 10 years. The fact that he has had such a sustained career at the top of the middleweight division. He was a long reigning champion one time. He now has become a unified champion at over the age of 40 years old. First of all, he's going to get elected into the Hall of Fame because the guys are going to vote him in there. So just based off the reputation and how much they were putting him up there before. As far as what he's done in his career, that's what I would say supports him being a Hall of Famer. He's one of the best middleweights that have been around this century. And the matter of fact, he's probably the second best middleweight of the century. And I think that's a fair thing to say, that he's the second best middleweight of the century. And if you're the second best guy in the weight division in a century, in 20 years, I'll give him the nod. Yeah, I'll give him the nod. Do I think he's an all-time great? No, I do not. And also, he beat Canelo Alvarez. A lot of people think he beat Canelo Alvarez twice. You know? The only person he lost to was Canelo, and two people think he won those, and a lot of people think he won those fights. So, you know, I'm not the biggest Gennady Golovkin fan in the world, but you got to understand my perspective. Me saying that he is not better than Bernard Hopkins and he didn't get 22 title defenses, he's not the pound-for-pound best fighter in the world, because I didn't believe he was. I think Andre Ward is a better fighter than him. However, both of the guys that around his weight class that I think he's better than, that I think are better than him, both of those guys are going into the Hall of Fame. Both of them. You see? And I'm not going to respond like also the fact that you can say the same thing about Andre Ward. You're like, well, who is he beaten? Who is he beaten to be in the Hall of Fame? Well, it's not just who you beat individuals, it's your body of work. It's your body of work. The man is undefeated from the age of 12. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He won the Super 6 tournament, beat everybody, all comers in the Super 6 tournament, proved that he's the best 168 pounder in the world, moved up to 175, beat the boogeyman there, proved he's the best 175 pounder, retired from boxing undefeated, what do you call it? A consistent top 1-2 guy pound for pound during the time he's fighting. Easily one of the best fighters of this century so far. That man gets my vote. Gennady Golovkin, I'm not saying Gennady Golovkin is Tony Harrison, right? Or I'm not saying Gennady Golovkin's, Tony Golovkin is Robert Easter Jr., right? If you said, like, is Robert Easter Jr. a Hall of Famer, I would say no. He was a champion. He was one of the best lightweights. He's an excellent fighter, has a terrific career that he should be proud of. Is he a Hall of Famer? No. Is Gennady Golovkin a Hall of Famer? He's probably the second best middleweight of the century. I can't think of, I don't know that Jamal Charlo was better than him. Don't know that, right? Don't know that Demetrius Andrade was better than him. Don't know that. But I know that he's an excellent, excellent fighter for a very, very long period of time. And many people think he beat Canelo Alvarez. He defended his title, multiple titles that he had at three belts at 160 one time. He defended a title 8 times. He came back, re-won the title. Now he's defended that multiple times and he unified. I think if somebody else did that, right, I would say I would be giving them the consideration. I would be giving those guys that consideration off of those accomplishments. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. My man, shame that GGG is a Hall of Fame, but not Kelly Pavlik. You didn't ask me if Kelly Pavlik was a Hall of Famer or not. But Kelly Pavlik kind of fell off a little bit, man. Fanon was fading during the Thurman Barrios fight. How are you praying for Thurman to get the KO? What? What you talking about? I wasn't. Early? Oh, because I was tired? Hey, John Boy said we old people get tired when the sun goes down. Hey, much love in that super chat. You know that, brother. You know that. Hey, Rip Jones said, Coach Ford said they are training to punish Riley. Yeah, if they walk Riley down and they make Riley fight on the inside, they'll kill Rolly. They'll kill Rolly if they do that. You know what I mean? That's what I'm talking about, bro. My man, Camille Oz in that super chat. Brother, thank you for that so much support, man. He says, shame that GGG is a Hall of Famer, but Kelly Pavlik is not. Much love in that super chat. He said, Fanon, on another show your show DP. I don't know what that means, man. What is DP? I don't know what that means. He doesn't belong in the Hall of Fame, Fanon. Hey, man, he's getting in there. He's getting in there. You can say he doesn't belong in there, but he's going. I promise you. I'm promising you, dog. I am promising you, without a doubt, no questions, Gennady Golovkin is going to be in the Hall of Fame. No doubt about it. Debo of the century. Do you know what this century is? Debo? It's from the year 2000. I'm saying that he is one of the best, probably the best of this century from the year 2000. Now, I could be wrong, but I do believe Roy Jones was at middleweight in the 1990s. I believe. that he was in middleweight in the 1990s. I could be wrong, but I believe that James Toney was in middleweight in the 1990s. Not the 2000s, the 1990s. Roy Jones Jr. got out of the Olympics in 1988. 88 Olympics. He's the same age as me. He was in the 88 Olympics. He was in middleweight. By the time the 2000s rolled around, he was at 175. Roy Jones Jr. was in middle. Same thing for Bernard Hopkins. A good amount of Bernard Hopkins' time was in the 1990s at middleweight. However, into the 2000s, he stayed in middleweight too. For a to like 2006? Something like that, 2006, 2007, like that. That's why I said second, but behind Bernard Hopkins. If you can tell me a middleweight that fought whose career was in the middleweights from the year 2000 on, that was better than Gennady Golovkin in that weight class, let me know. Let me know. Let me know who it was. Let me know. Joe Calzaghe's 168. Joe Calzaghe's not a middleweight. Joe Calzaghe is at super middleweight. He's at 168 pounds. Joe Calzaghe is not a 168. He's a 168 pounder, not a 160 pounder. James Toney, though, is a Hall of Famer. And so is, by the way, James Toney's a Hall of Famer, and so is Roy Jones Jr., for sure. They are both Hall of Famers. Bernard Hopkins is a Hall of Famer. Joe Calzaghe is probably going to go to the Hall of Fame. Those guys are Hall of Famers. Only one that may have a little question is Joe Calzaghe. And honestly, I think Joe Calzaghe is probably going to make it in there too. Look, man, I'm not the biggest fan of Gennady Golovkin in the world. I'm just telling you that if the man does those things, and you got to get a man his legitimate accomplishments, those are very, very, dude, if you're the best guy in your weight division, the first or second best guy in a weight division for the last 20 years, dog, that's a long time, man. It's a long time to be on top, man. Potato Chip 777, just checking your temperature. You was going to call out for a debate, but after hearing your explanation, I don't want no smoke. Nice analysis. Potato Chip, thank you, brother. Much love in that super chat, bro. I'm telling you, man, I am unbiased. I am unbiased, man. He said yes of this century. That's why I said this century. I said he is the best of this century. I did not say, Debo, that he was the best in 100 years. I didn't say that he was better than Roy Jones Jr. I did not say that he was better. I didn't say that he was better than Roy Jones Jr. I didn't say he's better than Hagler. I didn't say he's better than Monzon. I didn't say he's better than LaMotta. I didn't say he was better than, I did not say that he was better than Sugar Ray Robinson. I didn't say any of that. All right? If I had said that he was the best, second best middleweight in 100 years, I would be an idiot. I said he's the second best middleweight this century. Of the century. The century. Second base of the century. The century. We are in 2 decades now. Okay? We've had a full 20 years. 22 years. We're almost a quarter the way through the century. If you are the best fighter or the close to the best fighter in a weight division has produced in a quarter century, my God, man. What do you think? I'm not going to acknowledge the man? Dude, if Gennady Golovkin wasn't a legit fighter, the dude would have been gone. He's a legit fighter, man. On the real. And like I said, a lot of people thought he beat Canelo. Debo, you got to listen to me, man. Listen to what I say. Kamal Oz said, I got Sergio Maravilla Martinez over GGG, the 154-pounder Sergio Martinez. The 154-pounder Sergio Martinez over Gennady Golovkin. If you think so, okay. That's not bad. I would not say so. I would not say that. I would say that I would put Gennady Golovkin over Sergio Martinez. I would. But Fair point. I kind of considered Sergio Martinez more of a 154, but let me see. I always thought of Sergio Martinez more of a 154 pounder and less of a middleweight. But let me see. I just want to make sure that I was correct in that. Because when I think of him, I don't think of him necessarily as a middleweight. I think more of him as a light middleweight. But let me see. Yeah, so what does he do? He's got he beat Kevin. They ain't bad though. Super welterweight. Yeah, he didn't have actually long a reign at super welterweight. He beat Paul Williams at middleweight. He had a nice run. Darren Barker, who ain't all of that, but whatever. Matthew Macklin, so what? Julio Cesar Chavez, so what? Martin Murray, double, so what? Lost to Miguel Cotto when he's kind of old. Yeah, he had a nice run though, man. Definitely had a nice run. Good call on that guy. Good call on Sergio Martinez. Good call on Sergio Martinez. Let me see something though. Yeah, really good in the early two. Yeah. That's a good run. Yeah, you're right. Sergio Martinez is a good call, man. No joke. But I wouldn't take him over Gennady Golovkin. But I like that in you. I wouldn't mind seeing the fight. Lawrence Okocha. Fanon, what's next for Shakur if he gets KO'd by Valdez? Also, is Jermell, Spence, Andrade going to the Hall of Fame? Your honest thoughts. First of all, brother, I'm going to give you my honest thoughts all the time. So there's no need for you to give me my honest thoughts. No need to ask for honest thoughts. Just to let you know, that's kind of rude when you say that. Can you give me your honest thoughts as if I would give you anything other than that? What's next for Shakur if he gets KO'd by Valdez? I don't know. Not going to happen. I don't know, man. That's like asking me what's going to happen. What happens next if I walk out into the middle of the street and get hit by a car? Okay, I'll go to the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully I'll live. I don't even, dog, that's such a far-fetched thing for me that I haven't even given it any thought. Is Jermall a Hall of Famer? No. Is Spence a Hall of Famer? Yes. Is Demetrius Andrade a Hall of Famer? No. And I'll tell you why. Jermall's not going to go to the Hall of Fame because Canelo won't fight him. And people make excuses for him not getting a shot to be able to earn his way in. Demetrius Andrade is not going to go to the Hall of Fame because Demetrius Andrade will not get a shot to fight somebody with a reputation that will allow him to get in. Because people are acting as if Canelo Alvarez doesn't have to fight his contemporaries. If Jermall fought Canelo Alvarez and was able to beat Canelo Alvarez, then yes, there's a good chance he could get into the Hall of Fame, but he will never get that chance because people will keep acting like he doesn't deserve the fight. Same thing for Demetrius Andrade. And it will not change if Demetrius Andrade fights Jermall Charlo because none of them, they will all say, well, he never beat anybody. Who did Demetrius Andrade beat? Canelo Alvarez's legacy and his concern for his legacy is preventing people, his contemporaries, from having a chance to have a legacy. Because Canelo took his ball and went home with it. Unlike fighters like Oscar De La Hoya, who fought Felix Trinidad, and gave Felix Trinidad an opportunity to beat him. Unlike Oscar De La Hoya, who fought his contemporary Shane Mosley and gave Shane Mosley a chance to beat Oscar De La Hoya and get that name on his resume. Same way that Oscar De La Hoya fought Bernard Hopkins. Same way that Oscar De La Hoya fought Floyd Mayweather Jr. Same way that Oscar De La Hoya fought Manny Pacquiao and gave people opportunities to have fights against him. Same way Floyd Mayweather Jr. fought Juan Manuel Marquez, fought Oscar De La Hoya, fought these guys. Same way. Same way Bernard Hopkins fought Felix Trinidad, fought Oscar De La Hoya, fought Roy Jones Jr., fought Kelly Pavlik, fought Jermaine Taylor. Same way he fought all those people. In his prime or close to his prime when his name was the best. They do not have the convenience of having the biggest name in their division actually willing to fight them. He wants them all to knock each other off so that he can make his history by going over to Ghana and fighting Makabu. and going on a European tour, a Beatles tour, and fighting Callum Smith. You know, the guys that were around when Roy Jones Jr. and those guys were there, but they were like, no, I'm going to fight the best. I'm sorry, I'm not going to go over there and fight Darren Barker. I'm not interested in Darren Barker. Sorry, I'm not interested. I'm not interested in those guys because they're not the best fighters. Canelo Alvarez is embracing them and just calling them the best fighters because they have a belt, when everybody around them knows that they're not, including people that ask these questions. So is Errol Spence Jr. a Hall of Famer? Damn near on lock for that. Dang near on lock because he beat Sean Porter. He basically cleared out a division with the exception of Terrence Crawford. And if he beats Terrence Crawford and becomes undisputed, he beats Yordenis Ugas, he's cleared out a division, proven that he's the best, maybe the best welterweight other than Floyd Mayweather Jr. this century. Very well on his way to proving that. However, you got to see the rest of his career pan out. But fortunate for Errol Spence, he has people that are willing to fight him. Demetrius Andrade and Jermall Charlo do not have that luxury because Gennady Golovkin won't even fight him. Gennady Golovkin and Ray Mayorga won't fight him. Unfortunately for them. You have to, in order to make the Hall of Fame, you actually have the opportunity to prove that you deserve that. They can go undefeated beating all these other guys. Jaime Munguia won't even fight him. Jaime Munguia turned down an opportunity to fight for a world championship. Nah, I'm sorry, it's on the wrong network. I'm not doing it. Very unfortunate for Jermall Charlo. And there's a lot of people who are boxing fans that make an excuse for that and say, well, God, he's just disappointing. How disappointing Jermall Charlo is. He needs to fight David Benavidez. Well, we'll see if he fights David Benavidez. And if he beats David Benavidez, I'm telling you, I'm going to hear the same thing. Well, who did David Benavidez beat? He really never beat anybody. Canelo Alvarez is moving on to better things. He's going to fight Darius Michalczewski's nephew at Bridgerweight. Come on, man. But as far as getting knocked out, and also let me go on this Lawrence Ochoa. Don't ask me again to be honest. I'm going to be honest to you. I have no reason to lie to you. My man, Damon Wester in the building. 10 years is a lot of years, not only to have fought #1 pound-for-pound fighters and lost, but should be a requirement to have beaten at least 1 per-pound fighter to get in. I don't think you can, Damon Wester, because those guys won't fight you. Some of those guys won't fight you. You know what I mean? They won't fight you. Hey, man, don't do that shit around here, man. I got to throw you out, brother. I'm going to tell you right now, I do not mind. Much love in the super chat. Thank you for your support. Kelly Pavlik fought much better competition than GGG. Yeah, but I don't think he's a better fighter than Gennady Golovkin. I don't think he is. But if you do, knock yourself out. I'm telling you what my vote was. I'm telling you he's going to get in. Kelly Pavlik may get in. Don't lunch. Kelly Pavlik may get in. Kelly Pavlik is a very, very good fighter. Don't lunch. I don't think he didn't have the longevity in his career, but he's a very good fighter, man. Keith Nolan said it'll take more than just juice for Valdez to KO Shakur. Valdez will need that Bruce Banner juice. That's that man said he need gamma rays to turn into the Hulk to beat Shakur. Hey, much love in that super chat, bro. That's just a loaded question, man. Like, what's going to happen if he loses? The same thing that happens to everybody that loses, man. What am I going to tell you that? Quincy Carter said, hey, man, much love in that super chat. Quincy Carter in the building. He said, if Floyd did what Canelo did, it'd be an old media war, dog. Let me tell you something. They were getting on Floyd for it, and he wasn't doing what Canelo Alvarez is doing. Dog, it's been years now, man. It's been years now. Since he's been on the European tour for years, man. Say that's real. You need a dance partner. Yeah. If they won't fight him, who does he beat? The guys wouldn't fight him. They do the same thing to that's why I don't even entertain that Deontay Wilder stuff. Because you say, well, he never beat them. They would not fight him. They all left the rankings. They wouldn't fight him. Joseph Parker wouldn't fight him. Joseph Parker would not fight Deontay Wilder. Wouldn't do it. You kidding me? They wouldn't fight him. Joseph Parker wouldn't fight him. Charles Martin had a decision to win whether he could fight Anthony Joshua or Deontay Wilder, he took Anthony Joshua for more money. That belt could have been Deontay Wilder's belt by fighting Charles Martin. You think he's not going to beat Charles Martin? Think he's not going to beat Joseph Parker? Man, get out of here. We did not beat him. I mean, name the guys that he fought. Go through the box record, name the people that he fought. Man, shut up with that cornball stuff, man. We've been watching boxing the whole time, man. The guy didn't want to fight him. Didn't want to fight him. And because they didn't want to fight him, because a B-level fighter wouldn't fight him, and your guy beat the B-level fighter that refused to fight him, you think he did something special. With no story, no context behind it. Hey, Kamal said, I got Winky Wright over Bum Luckham in the middleweight. Nah, Winky Wright is not a middleweight, man. Winky Wright's a 154-pounder, man. Winky Wright's a 154-pounder, and he's a 90s fighter to boot. And Winky Wright, I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure Ronald Winky Wright is a 90s fighter, man. Ronald Wright is a Ronald Winky Wright. Winky Wright. Yeah, for the most part, he's an early 2000s fighter. Yeah, he's doing it up in the early 2000s. And he had one fight, he took off some years and came back and lost some fights towards the end. But really, the best of Winky Wright was in the 90s, man. Late, like 96, 98. Fernando Vargas in 99. Yeah. Then later on, he got those fights against Shane Mosley. Yeah, in the 2005 Jermaine Taylors. I really consider the best of Winky Wright. The best of Winky Wright, I think, is in the 90s. But he was a 154-pounder, man. You know what I mean? He's a 154-pounder. He's a 154-pounder, not really a 160-pounder. Kamal Oz said, no doubt GGG gets in the Hall of Fame. Corporate media loves him. Yeah, that's the real thing. He's going to get in. Like, kidding me? He's going to get in. Errol's getting in too. Man, Errol is well on his way. I'll put it this way. He's well on his way to the Hall of Fame, man. You can say whether he's done enough or not at this point in time, but we'll see. We'll see. Quincy Carter, much love in that super chat. Instead of creating franchise belts to duck opponents, they should have created brackets where the top 10 have to fight each other. Absolutely, dude. I think they should get rid of voluntaries, man. Personally, I think they should get rid of voluntaries. You should get one voluntary every 2 years. I think you should get one voluntary every 2 years. No joke. Because that way you know who you're going to fight next. And people already know, he's already fighting this guy, he's fighting that guy. Negotiate the deal because you know who you're fighting next. He's fighting that guy next. And if you lose, you're fighting that guy. I don't care about your rematch clause. You can off on the rematch clause. You're going right over there. That's who you fight next. And if you lose, you fight your way back up. And we know who's going to fight. Be like, I lost the championship. What's going to happen next? You're going to be fighting that guy. Not a worries. I think you should switch that up. Give them 2 mandatories a year. But see, them promoters, though, we can't sell a fight. We never sell a fight. They wouldn't want to see it. They'd want to see the fight if they got used to the system and they know who you're going to fight. Only problem is you may lose. And that's just what it is. You may just lose. Your guy may lose. And they don't want the cash cow losing. Linwood Hall said, top of the morning, homie. Yeah, top of the morning to you, friend. Opinions on cheaters being so-called legendary. Canelo, Fury, Margarito, Mosley, Resto. Got to throw out Mosley. Mosley didn't get caught. And Resto. Mosley didn't get caught. Mosley didn't get caught. But, it is what it is, man. I don't think anybody in there is legendary, though. I don't think Canelo is a legendary fighter, man. I don't care if he's on steroids or not steroids. I think that is just media right now. Tyson Fury is not a legendary fighter. That whole legacy conversation doesn't take place until after you're retired or whether or not you're legendary. Floyd, that dude, I think he's had a legendary career. No joke. Because people are going to look back and be like, man, that dude, whoa. Manny Pacquiao had a legendary career. I think those are fair for those guys to say that with their careers when your career is wrapped up. Canelo, Fury, Margarito ain't legendary. I've never heard him call Margarito legendary. I've never heard anybody call Resto legendary or Shane Mosley legendary. I don't think, only thing legendary about Mosley though is his lightweight division, is his short career at lightweight. His time at lightweight, woo, man. At lightweight, Shane Mosley was a beast at lightweight. After lightweight, though, I wouldn't say he was legendary. You know what I mean? I think he's some notches above Tim Bradley. But he's like a notch or two above Tim Bradley is where I would say he is. Shane Mosley is. But I don't think any of those guys are legendary. And Canelo is not legendary. He lost to Floyd. That's a wrap. His whole legendary conversation goes out the window. A Singh, he said, who do you see as the future pound for pound king in boxing? I don't know if there's a current one. I don't think there's a clearly defined current one. I think the future legitimate one is the winner of Errol Spence Jr. and Terrence Crawford. That's legitimately would be for me. Without a doubt, anybody saying otherwise, you can kick rocks. Is them. But they'll say it's Canelo because Canelo is a marketing ploy. That's a marketing thing. And some people say he's the best. Some people say Terrence Crawford's the best, pound for pound. You know what I mean? But the last clearly defined one where there's no question that guy's the best of everybody is Andre Ward. And before that, the only clear cut one was Floyd Mayweather Jr. And before that, the last clear cut one was Roy Jones Jr. Before Roy Jones Jr., I don't even really know who was the clear cut one before Roy Jones Jr. I don't even think there was one before Roy Jones. I think that probably, and y'all can give, some historians can jump in on this. I think before Roy Jones, probably the last real guy that was clearly pound for pound was the guy that the name was invented for, Sugar Ray Robinson. I think it may have went from Sugar Ray Robinson to Roy Jones. Or maybe Pernell Whitaker. Sorry. Roy Jones Jr. Sugar Ray Robinson, maybe to Sugar Ray Leonard at a point, to Pernell Whitaker, to Roy Jones Jr. Pernell Whitaker to Roy Jones Jr. to Floyd Mayweather Jr. to Andre Ward, and right now I don't think there is one. Clearly that. Because I don't think there was any argument for anybody but Roy. I don't think there was any argument for anybody but Floyd. And after Floyd retired, I don't think there was any argument for anybody other than Andre Ward. Right now, there's an argument between Canelo and Terrence Crawford. And in my opinion, it's Terrence Crawford. And honestly, Canelo Alvarez popped dirty for steroids, so I don't know how I could ever really consider him that. Because I think he's a cheater. And he's proven to be a cheater. So, and that's his pound for pound right there. You got pounds of illegal muscle sitting on top of you. So right now, I think the closest thing to it is Terrence, but Errol's in the mix for him. After that, after this generation of fighters, right? Then I think the guys that have the clearest cut opportunities to be that, if the fights get made, are guys like Jaron Ennis, Shakur Stevenson, Devin Haney, Gervonta Tank Davis. Who else is out there? Monster Inoue. I mean, if guys really like that little guy stuff, could be Monster Inoue. If Monster Inoue really does clear the decks with those guys, even though I don't like doing little guys, just like I don't like doing the big guys, and I don't do big guys, because they're heavyweights. Like obviously Alexander Usyk should be considered for that, but he's a heavyweight, and to me, he deserves more respect than for having me put him debate whether or not he'd beat Terrence Crawford if they were the same size. To me, when you're the heavyweight champion and you're the best heavyweight and you've proven that, you're the best fighter in all of boxing in reality. You don't need a hypothetical question. You don't need the hypothetical for them. So I'm not going to give a hypothetical when they have the actual. You know what I mean? Which is why, I don't even care what Floyd Mayweather says about Ali. And I'll tell Fahim Sator that in a minute. If he thinks he's that big and bad and he's better than Ali was and all that, go fight a heavyweight. Prove it. Go fight a heavyweight. Go beat Usyk. Prove it. Ali got to take on all comers. Doesn't matter the weight class. All comers. He had to take on all comers. He had to take guys way bigger than him. He fought guys smaller than him. He fought guys the same size as him. Anybody can go to that weight division, and a heavyweight has to fight him. So there's no need for me to be like hypothetical. Once you get into that division there's no weight limit, there's no weight minimum, there's no weight limit, you're fighting every man coming. You fighting every man coming. Jared Anderson is fighting every man coming. Deontay Wilder, he had to fight a guy 210. He got to fight a guy 300. He's got to fight everybody coming. Ain't nobody saying, oh, woe is Errol, woe is Deontay Wilder for getting knocked out by a guy that outweighs him by 60 pounds. Right? Ain't no swan songs for a 215-pound Deontay Wilder fighting a 185-pound Tyson Fury. It's, hey, man, this dude whooped your ass, you garbage. That's what they have to endure. None of those other guys have to endure what heavyweights have to endure, so I'm not throwing a heavyweight on that list. I think it's disrespectful to the heavyweights. Jared Anderson, if Jared Anderson's going to prove he's the man, you know what he's got to do. He got to get in there with a guy that is 6'9", 300 pounds. Tyson Fury gets to beat up on guys that are 6'2", 220 pounds. And nobody says, oh, you're picking on him. You know why? Because everybody knows the deal. Any man can get it. Heavyweight's the ultimate, you can get it. Weight class. It's not even a weight class. It's just boxing. Whoever's there, that's who you fight. Roy Jones Jr. wants to move up and fight at 100. He want to move up there and fight at 180 pounds. There ain't no rule saying he got to be over 200 pounds or we're not making this fight. Be like, I'm 180 pounds. I don't care. I'm about to whoop this dude. Ring the damn bell. Let's go. You know what I mean? That's why I say no heavyweights on my list. No need. It's and it's not a disrespect to the heavyweights. Trust me. I think putting them on the list anywhere below any of those little dudes is disrespectful to them for what they actually have to do. Blacksmith Ross said, honestly, Canelo has real scouts, real skills, no doubt. Oh, yeah, no doubt. I wouldn't blame Canelo for who he's choosing to fight. If Benavidez and Charlo were running from him like Freitas and Casamayor, did you you said you wouldn't blame him for who he chooses to fight if Benavidez and Charlo were running for him like Freitas and Casamayor did at Mayweather at 130. Yeah, I wouldn't blame him if they were running, but he's getting $50 million offers. He's getting $50 million offers to fight him and turning it down. I'm sorry, that's going to keep me from voting for him. No joke. Don't give me no vote for Canelo on the Hall of Fame. You better believe I would be like, sorry, you're a gimmick. Sorry, gimmicks don't get my vote. Yeah, you are highly skilled, but you went gimmick mode. You know them video games like Terrence Crawford talked about cheat mode? You went gimmick mode. Once you go gimmick mode, I'm not interested in you anymore. Mikey Garcia went gimmick mode. Gimmick mode. Oh, what am I going to do? Oh, I'm not going to fight Vasily Lomachenko at lightweight. I'm going to move up and I'm going to fight Sergey at 140. Then I'm going to dip down to 135. Then I'm going to go to 147. Then I'm going to dip back down. And I'm going to be the first person to win these division, a trinket in 3 divisions in 6.5 months. That's going to make me the man. That's a gimmick. That's a gimmick. Fight the guys, your contemporaries in the weight class that you fight. Beat those guys and then win those guys. When you beat all the guys with the belts, beat the number 1 contenders too. Beat them and whoop the next level of guys as well. Just like Bernard Hopkins did. Whooped them all and kept whooping them. I respect Bernard Hopkins and what he did way more than what Canelo Alvarez is doing with this. But he's undisputed at this weight class. He didn't fight nobody to become undisputed. And strangely enough, the media understood it when it was Terrence Crawford. You guys understood that when it was Terrence Crawford. When Terrence Crawford beat Ndungo to become undisputed, you knew that. Oh, but it's your level of competition. Yeah, you're the undisputed. You're the first undisputed champion since Jermaine Taylor. Yes, but really, Who did you beat? Really? That's what the media said to Terrence Crawford. But Canelo goes on a 10-can tour, right? In a weak division. He leaves a strong division to go to a weak division. And all of a sudden, it's the accomplishment itself that matters. It doesn't matter who he fought. They had belts. Well, what happened? Why didn't it matter when it was Julius Ndungo and Victor Postol? Then it was the competition level when it was Terrence Crawford. That's not enough. That's not enough to get him past the great Lomachenko, who did what? Beat 3 guys in the same year, only one of which was even in his weight class. He's at 130, fought one 130-pounder named Jason Sosa, a journeyman, and he beat a guy that moved up from 122 in Rigondeaux, and he beat a guy that moved up from 126 in Miguel Mariaga. And they gave him Fight of the Year over a guy that got undisputed. And the justification that they gave was the level of competition was not good enough. But yet, when Canelo does it, oh, Lord, that's just, it's Canelo. You know what I'm saying? Why? Because it's Canelo. And y'all were there, and you know that's what I'm saying is true. If you were there and you remember. But people get real selective memories, my brother. My man, Damon Wester, in that Super Chat, brother, said, does the loser of Bud versus Errol get in the Hall of Fame? OG, depends on what they do. Depends on the fight. If it is a knockdown, barn burner killer, then there's no loser in it. The winner, guess what? The winner of what they do in the rest of their career. The winner of the winner and the loser of Marvelous Marvin Hagler and Sugar Ray Leonard are getting to the Hall of Fame. They both getting in there. And guess what? Hagler lost. He's still in the Hall of Fame. One loss does not take you out of Hall of Fame consideration, depending on especially if you lose to a Hall of Famer. If Errol, say for example, Terrence Crawford lost to Errol Spence, and Errol Spence unified, he becomes undisputed. He has a Hall of Fame career, and Terrence Crawford goes on, wins another champion, whooping everybody up. Only person he lost to was a Hall of Famer. There's all kind of Hall of Famers with losses. Muhammad Ali lost. He lost to Hall of Famers. And a couple guys that weren't in the Hall of Fame later in his career. Manny Pacquiao lost. He's going to the Hall of Fame. He lost to Hall of Famers. Juan Manuel Marquez should be going to the Hall of Fame, in my opinion. Juan Manuel Marquez should be going, in my opinion, and he lost to Hall of Famers. I don't think a loss should eliminate you from that consideration at all. And because you're fighting the best. I'm not going to put you in there if you don't fight him. I'd rather you fight him and lose him. I'd rather you fight, lose, right? Fight like James Toney fought Roy Jones Jr. He lost to Roy Jones Jr. But I think the fact that he fought him is a compliment to his career because he fought him. Canelo not fighting his contemporaries. Dude, that's more being like, nah, dude, you stopped after Gennady Golovkin. You just started cashing checks after Gennady Golovkin. Because right now he's just catching checks, in my opinion. If you're asking me my vote, he's just collecting checks right now. That's it. I don't think he's been in a serious fight since Gennady Golovkin. And I think you would agree. He's not been in a serious fight since Gennady Golovkin. King Judah in the building. Only Jermel has the power and skill to beat Fundura. Lubin looked like he made it to the final boss without maxing out his stats. Hey man, he should have maxed out his stats, dog. He should have maxed out his stats, dog. But I'm gonna tell you something right now, dog. You guys putting Canelo Alvarez in the Hall of Fame after a positive steroid test is an insult to the Hall of Fame, bro. I think if you pop dirty in your career, you're out. For me, I'd be like, yeah, but he is on steroids. I can't do it. No vote. He popped dirty. Sorry. Got to be some type of consequences to it. Blacksmith Ross in that super chat, brother. Much love, man. Thank you so much for that support, bro. He said, Blacksmith Ross said, Joaquin Ramirez Fanon brings up old fighters because of 2 reasons. Put your favorite fighter versus Roy Jones, YouTube highlights, no contest. Hey, man, he's the man, except for Ali. I'll put my Ali highlights over with Roy Jones Jr. any day in a week. Also, first middleweight to be heavyweight champ in 100 years. Hey, man, he ain't no joke. Oh, but give me Ali's highlights over Roy's. What? Gee, you better give me some Deontay Wilder highlights. I'll take Deontay Wilder's highlight reel over anybody. No joke. Dog, I could make a man. Deontay Wilder got the most hellacious highlight videos you could possibly ask for, dog. I have never seen anybody concuss that many men. You know what I'm saying? You got dudes just going, everybody. You know what I'm saying? Everybody. Dude, he got a highlight reel in that last Tyson Fury fight. No joke. When that back shivered, he hit that boy and all that back fat just all up and down his back, dog. The top highlight dude, in my opinion, Deontay Wilder. He got better highlights than Tyson Fury, than Mike Tyson does. Better highlights than Mike Tyson, man. Deontay Wilder, the king of the highlight film. No joke, man. King of the highlight film, dog. I'm going to tell you somebody else that got a highlight film. Jervonta got a highlight film, dog. Jervonta Davis got a highlight reel. My man Keith Nolan said, if Canelo is the face of boxing, then Steven Seagal is the face of MMA and martial arts. Yeah, let him tell it. Let him tell it. You know what I'm saying? Let him tell it. Let them tell it. That's what they'll tell you. Much love in that super chat, Keith Nolan, and all y'all support, man. Man, let them tell it. Let them tell it. You know that's what'll happen, dog. Let them tell it. I like the conversation, though. But, dog, seriously, man. Oh, man, huge, man. John Boy in that Cash App. Huge, brother. Thank you so much for that support, bro. Man, John Boy, dog, seriously, man, we getting them cups for the consistent supporters, brother. No joke. You guys going, you know who y'all are. I'm gonna get these Fanon cups together, these coffee cups for y'all, because y'all gotta have y'all Fanon coffee cup while y'all chat with me about it. Fanon is what did it say? Hey, Tyrone Joseph in that Cash App, brother, said Fanon is a biased Dillian White fan. Oh, you know that. I'm biased. Man, I ain't biased. I'm telling you, I got a consistent approach that I apply to all fighters equally. I have because I make sure that the way that I process it it's the same for every fighter. And my man Curtis, Just Do Boxing, in the building, excuse me. He said, just supporting the real. Much respect, OG. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Man, ain't no marketing employees over here, brother. Ain't no marketing employees over here. Also, let me ask you a quick question. Did y'all notice who I said could be a pound-for-pound best fighter in the world? Did you hear that name I put in that list? Did you hear I said Devin Haney? Did you hear I said Devin Haney? Did you hear it? I want you to know I said that. I'm going to highlight that one. I said Devin Haney because I know he can be. I would not be shocked if Devin Haney became the #1 pound-for-pound fighter in the world. He is that level of talent. Just remember I said that. Will you all, when the next time the bots jump in the chat talking about how much I hate on Devin? How do you hate on somebody you say could be a pound-for-pound #1 fighter in the world? Hey, Quincy Carter said, feel bad for Lubin. He was almost back to Canelo, to Charlo rematch. Oh, yeah. It's bad. Hey, man. Much love in that super chat, bro. Wasn't meant to be. Wasn't meant to be for the brother, man. Wasn't meant to be. You know what I'm saying? Many are called, few are chosen. Many are called, few are chosen, brother. King Judah said, doing a live watch party this weekend, Fanon. Are you going to come up? Are you going to show up? King Judah, and I'll do it. Much love in that super chat, brother. If you show up, I'll do it. If you show up, I'll do it. Because you know I'm amped for this Errol fight, man. You know I'm amped for this Errol fight. I'm going to slide down here. Mike Kirkland in that super chat, brother, said, Mike Tyson knocked out bums and was scared of Spinks and a scared Spinks and an older Holmes. Yeah, he did. But it is what it is. He had them highlight reels, though. Much love in that super chat, brother. Yeah, it may have, but dog, I'm going to tell you something. Hey, let me tell you something. That is the stupidest argument in the world, Gio. If that is, let me tell you something, dog. Gio, this is for you, for this stupid comment. This is arguably the stupidest comment that a boxing fan could make. One of the stupidest comments that a boxing fan can make. He is arguably one of the worst heavyweight champions of all time. There is no chance. No chance Unless you say one of them means like one of the 50 worst. If you think that he is anywhere remotely near the worst heavyweight champion, do you not know who Charles Martin is? Let me go through the people. Do you know who Charles Martin is? You think he's worse than Charles Martin? Do you think he's worse than Andy Ruiz? Do you think that he is worse than Joseph Parker? Do you think he's worse than Layman Brewster, Corey Sanders, Oliver McCall, Leon Spinks? Do you think he is worse than Primo Carnera? Do you think that he is worse? Do you think that he is worse than dude? I can name 40 heavyweight champions that are worse than Deontay Wilder. It's not even you could argue it. You would lose that argument terribly. You are so unfair to Deontay Wilder, man. He's not a worse champion than Anthony Joshua. He's a better, longer reigning champion than Anthony Joshua. Longer reign. And by the way, better fights. Better fights. You think that a guy that had a gilded tin can wrapped around his waist was the best guy in the division? He was not. Was he worse than was he worse than Bermain Severn, who he knocked out twice? It's just silly, man, the way you guys do Deontay Wilder, man. Dog, shut up, Tiger Stripe. He has an average. Tiger Stripe said Wilder has an average resume. Really? Average resume. Name 10 fighters that have a better resume fighting in boxing right now. In the heavyweight division, name 10 fighters that have better resumes than Deontay Wilder in the heavyweight division right now. Tiger Striper, I'm throwing you out forever. If you cannot put 10 names of heavyweights that are fighting right now that have better resumes than Deontay Wilder, let me know. Now, AJ's resume is far from average. Not close to average, not approaching average, nowhere near average. Nowhere near average. AJ has an exceptional resume. Exceptional. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a two-time heavyweight champion. He won 3 titles in a division. He has an exceptional resume. Tiger Stripe, you're an idiot and you go. Goodbye. I don't like talking to dummies, man. I like serious boxing fans, bro. So I'm not even going to humor you anymore. Tiger Stripe. Come back under another name, maybe. Quincy Carter said, Deontay Wilder's pro-blackness attracts his haters. Hey, man, it may. It ain't got anything to do with me. I'm going to tell you right now. It ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm looking at what that man does in the ring. And for you to say a guy that has knocked out 40 people, that has 9 heavyweight title defenses, and reigned as a champion for 5 years, has an average resume, then you're just talking out the sides of your, you're just talking out the side of your lips, outside of your neck. And Deontay Wilder will be a legendary fighter because he's a knockout artist. Absolutely. That's what happens to guys with 40 knockouts. That's what happens when you have 40 knockouts. People will say, God dog, this man knocked out 40 men. What would he do if he gets hit? And people will talk about that for a very long time. You know what I'm saying? What's going on, Tate Bricks? I'm chilling, man. He said average, it's just silly. They just talk out the side of their neck. That's why you can't take them seriously, man. You know what I mean? You're not somebody to have a conversation with that is going to be taken seriously. If you want to be taken seriously, say serious things. How come as soon as Usyk beats AJ, he automatically on the pound for pound list, but not the fighter he beat to get there? Britex, he was on the pound for pound list before that. Alexander Usyk was on the pound for pound list before he even went to heavyweight because he's an undisputed champion at cruiserweight. Alexander Usyk has been on the pound-for-pound list for a while. He was on the pound-for-pound list before he got to heavyweight, man. That's incorrect. And guess what? When he got to heavyweight, I took him off. Once he got to heavyweight, because there's no need for it. That's overkill. King Judah said, for 9, Haney will truly be the Lord if he becomes undisputed and Loma refuses to fight him. Loma's not going to refuse to fight him. Loma's going to go beat him. Loma going to go snatch his chain off his chest. Loma going to snatch his chain off his chest, dog. Loma going to snatch that chain off his chest. Is what's going to happen. Because if you think Devin Haney is going to get a decision against George Kambosos and Vasily Lomachenko, I don't know about all that, dog. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. I'm telling you, man, Devin got a hard road, dog. He took the road. Hey, man, he took that road. That road ain't easy. There's a lot of hijackers on that road. You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of bandits on that road. Whole lot of bandits trying to try. When you get right past them, they're gonna roll up behind you, try to snatch what's yours unfairly. He's gonna have to win 3 fights in a row against dudes that he will get robbed against, that he needs knockouts to beat. No joke. He's gonna have to be 3 fights in a row that he's gonna need knockouts to win. And he ain't no knockout puncher. So he's going to have to either beat these dudes up real bad, dog. He's going to need to beat these dudes up real bad, dog. He's got to beat them up real bad, dog. And I hope he does it. But just understand, man, politics is real in a mug, dog. Politics is real in a mug. Devin is not going to outbox Lomachenko. No, he is not. Not going to outbox that guy, man. Not going to outbox him. No. No. Not outbox him. He got to beat him up, dog. He's got to beat him up and get his respect, man. King Judah said the only way Haney loses to any of them is bad officiating. That says it all. No, I'm just telling you that. I'm telling you flat out. I don't know what you want me to say. I'm trying to tell you the truth. He's going to have to overcome that. It's just what it is. If you go, I would say the same thing if Deontay Wilder was going to fight AJ in Wembley. He's going to need a knockout to beat that dude in Wembley Stadium. He is. AJ's going to get the AJ. Dude, I think AJ was up on the cards against Usyk. I think AJ was up on the cards against Usyk, man. It's like that, dog. But no, I don't think Devin's going to outbox Lomachenko. I don't think so. And maybe you're right, but I don't see that. I don't see that. Unless he's down, bro. Hey, I'm high if you think he won't beat him. Okay, hey, SMA, remember you said that. Remember you said that. You remember you said that. If you were going to brush aside going on the road and fighting in Australia against the title holder and you don't think you got to do something a little bit extra to win that fight, you're bugging. They're not fighting in the gym. Dog, you guys, you should know this, man. Haney's job is having his opponents, his jab, he having his foot gun shy. Hey, dog, we'll see. We'll see, man. We'll see. Hey, if you think it's my imagination, don't cry robbery, homie. When it's done. And I'm going to write your name down, bro, because I know you a bot. I know you a bot, dog. You just jump in the chat talking with SMA. Dog, you're a bot, dog. So let me tell you to your face, bot. If he loses, do not cry robbery. I don't want to hear it from you. Because you say it don't matter. So I don't want to hear no robbery. Talk. Okay? Dog, I've been saying that about Canelo Alvarez forever. Nothing against Devin. It's just the reality in boxing. If you go to somebody, if you are a relatively unknown fighter that does not own the majority of the belts, and you're going to fight in somebody else's backyard, when you got 60,000 fans screaming for them and not you, that is something to overcome. If you don't believe that's real, hey man, knock yourself out, dude. I'm telling you the truth. I'm not in the business of telling you what you want to hear. I'm telling you the truth. And he has to do it 3 times, or at least twice, because he has to fight George Kambosos again in Australia. If he does it once, he's got to do it twice. And then if he fights Vasily Lomachenko after that, that's his last contract on Tyson on Top Rank's card. So he has to go fight on the Top Rank card against a Top Rank fighter named Vasily Lomachenko, who's a popular fighter, and they will rob you for it. Dude, you underestimate Bob Arum, or it's amazing how selective people are with the crookedness of boxing. Dude, boxing is crooked like a Z. Zip, 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 crooked. If you don't think it's crooked, I think you're being naive. King Judah said, I would prefer if Devin went and beat the guy up. That would help. Beat him up. Beat him up, drop him, make them throw the towel in. You don't have to knock him out, but you got to beat him up. You got to put a beating on the guy. That's what he's going to have to do. He's going to have to put a beating on George Kambosos. He's going to have to put a beating on Vasily Lomachenko. Just what it is, man. It's what it is. King Judah said, looking forward to riding with Devin throughout his career against all the haters, just like Spence and Floyd. That's what's up, man. Ride with him, and I can't wait for him to get past this. I want him to win. I want him to win. You know what I'm saying? You say, I'm calling bloody murder if they rob him, dog. Let me tell you something, dog. If you say that it ain't got nothing to do with it, that the judging ain't got nothing to do with it, don't tell me about it after the fact. That's all I'm saying. You better call that ahead of time. I'm doing Devin a favor by calling out ahead of time. I'm not doing him a disservice. I'm acknowledging it ahead of time. He's going to have to beat that guy up to get that decision. He ain't got to knock him out. He's got to beat him up, though. And he can't just go about winning like, oh, his jab is going to keep the guy at bay. Jab, move back, jab, move back, jab, move back. That's not going to work. It's not going to work because the guy's going to throw a flurry. The guy's going to throw a flurry of punches, and they're like, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, ooh, ah, and they're going to give him a round. And then one judge, watch this, one judge will give one judge out of the 3. And I'm telling you how this plays out. One guy out of the 3 is going to give Devin Haney a draw. The other 2 are going to give George Kambosos damn near every round. But there's going to be one judge that is going to give Devin Haney key rounds. And the scorecard is going to be 116, 112, 116, or whatever, 116, 114, 116, 114, 114, 114. Or what? We've got a split decision. All that stuff, dog. Man, I've been watching boxing for way too long not to know how that, one guy, you got one judge that can see you winning, and the other 2 miraculously don't get it. Blacksmith Ross said the undercover hate for Wilder has an agenda. Since Ali, he moved black people together to watch his fights and support him. Wilder did that. Non-black people notice, so either love it or hate it. I smell hate. Hey, dog, some people don't care. Whole bunch of trolls can't stand it. Hate it to their heart, bro. Hate it to their heart. Haney's on a mission. Okay, he's on a mission. Absolutely, he's on a mission. All I'm telling you is how boxing works, man. Stop holding it against me. Okay? Roy Jones said it. Roy Jones said it. Roy Jones said, yeah, man, I think Devin Haney will win the fight. The only thing that worries me is this in Australia. Other than that, yeah, Devin's going to win the fight. If that fight was in Las Vegas, I would say, okay, yeah, Devin's going to win that fight. If that fight was in New York City, I would say, oh yeah, Devin's going to win the fight. Yeah, what are we waiting for? Should be an easy fight for Devin. Should be it should be with one-sided scorecards. However, if you go fight Manny Pacquiao in the Philippines, I have a suspicion, brother, that you're going to have to knock that dude out, or you're going to have to do something really, really, really specifics. I mean, you got really, really impressive to get that, and more than likely, you're not going to get it. That's all I'm saying. And I don't think I'm being unfair. I don't think I'm being unfair to anybody at all by saying it, you know? Andre Williams said, Fernand, Kambosos ain't crazy. That's why he won in Australia. Absolutely it is. He wants to get in front of his fans, all of his fans, bring his titles home there for the first time. For the first time. Some huge boxing event. You know what I mean? Quincy Carter said, I think they have a petition for an assortment of judges. I'm going to tell you, Quincy Carter, I don't care what judges I do not care what judges they petition for. I don't trust it. I do not trust it. Because then if they get them from different places, then they can definitely rob you. Because now they got the excuse. Now they got the excuse that, oh, they came from different places. Okay, yeah, they came from different places, I'm sure. When they're in their luxury vacation that they took to Australia on a private jet with dinners with the promoters and all of that good stuff that they enjoy coming over there. I'm sure they don't want another vacation later on. Man, I don't get out of here, man. I'm just trying to tell you, bro. Didn't Pac fight Horn in Australia? Absolutely he did, and he lost to Jeff Horn in Australia. Yeah, he fought him in Australia, and he lost in Australia. Absolutely. But anyway, I'm a Devin hater. Don't listen to me. Tell Devin to go in there and box. Tell Devin go ahead and box to a 12-round comfortable win. Go tell him to do a Rigondeaux in there. Go tell him fight like Guillermo Rigondeaux. Jab and move, jab and move, jab and move. Go ahead and do it. And then get backed up against the ropes and then have him flurry a couple stupid punches that don't land. Right? Go ahead. Go ahead and do it. And then get to that decision and with your stomach turning and then get ready to say, and still, what? I was robbed. Yeah. Because you should have done like Errol Spence. Errol was not going to get that decision against Kell Brook. He had to go beat up Kell Brook and stop Kell Brook and said, look, man, I'm going over there. I'm not intending to hear the judges say anything. I'm going to beat this guy up. I'm going to stop this guy is what I'm going to do. You know? King Judah said, you speaking facts, Martin, you Fanon. Just hope Team Haney is aware of what they're up against. And I think they are, of course. Dev should use his height and reach. Yeah, he's got to use his height and reach, but at a certain point in time, you got to go get that guy. Certain point in time, you got to go get that guy, man. You can't leave that to the judges, man. You can't leave that to the judges. You got to beat that dude up, man. No joke. You got to beat that dude up. You can't leave that to the judges. You leave that to the judges, you're asking for problems. That is my take on it. But anyway, enough of all of that. Enough of all of that. You do not need my advice. Devin Haney is going to go in there and do what he's going to do. He's the better fighter. He should win the fight if everything is on the up and up. Fanon, you all right? They get robbed everywhere, even the U.S., so you know that, so don't blame other countries. Keep the standards the same. Don't be emotional. Lawrence, I won't be emotional if you don't be stupid. You say that same stupid comment every time. If I tell you that somebody will get robbed if you get on the road and you go fight somebody in their home territory in Australia, right? That can be true. If you fight an American fighter, a big name American fighter in their hometown, you can lose too. Oscar Valdez, dummy, is by all intents and purposes American. He lived the vast majority of his life in Arizona. When he fought Conceição in his hometown, Conceição should have won that fight on the scoring cards, but he lost it, you idiot. I am waiting for your dumb ass to finally tell me when I've ever said that people do not get robbed in the United States. In fact, I do believe that I said people got robbed against Canelo Alvarez in Vegas, you moron. Now, here's your $5 worth. How about you complain about something that I did say and not complain about things that I never said? People got robbed in Scotland against Josh Taylor. Robbed. I think people get robbed everywhere when you're not the hometown favorite, you moron. I didn't say that people did not get robbed in the United States. Never did. And it's not emotional, it's factual. I just think that you're an idiot, personally. And also, I have a suspicion that I know who you are because you're paying super chats to say ridiculous things. But thank you for your money. I appreciate you. It'll go to a goal purpose. I didn't cuss at you, man. Why are you so rude? Because you are. You called me emotional. What do you mean? I'm rude because you're rude. You called me emotional. And you told me I said something that I didn't say. That's rude. So I was rude to you. Super chat me again so I can explain it to you. Other than that, friend, I'm not talking to you anymore because I'm pretty sure I already know who you are. So let me say thank you very much for your conversation, brother. Lawrence Okoli, with your picture. And you can go away forever. Lawrence Okochoka, whatever your name is. I'm not sensitive at all. Not sensitive. I talk to people all the time, friend. But I'm being very, very real with you. That's the third or fourth time that guy said that. Why do you act like people don't get robbed other places? I never said that they didn't. He said he is the troll king. I checked the check. Yeah, I know he's the same dude. It's the same guy. Anyway, Blacksmith Ross said, look, Haney is a good little boxing champ. Man, I hate this Haney conversation, man. I don't know who you are, dude, but you out of here, bro. Look, Haney is a good little boxing champ, but don't have that dog for the knockout in him. But he can bake Kambosos some cookies. Tank with KO him, dog. That's what I'm saying, bro. Exactly, bro. Hey, Nelson said, fine. For now, go sensitively on the ass so they know it. Well, let me, explain to you. Hey, dog, that's the new way to get out of it. You're just so emotional. Dog, you hiding behind. Dude, you out here typing. You know what I'm saying? You out here typing. I'm the only, everybody's emotional, man. What do you mean? Go say that to, go talk to somebody that doesn't know, bro. Everybody's emotional, man. Happiness is an emotion. Why are you so happy? That's an emotion. You know what I mean? Yeah, Ron, I heard that, man. He said, did you hear Usyk lost 22 pounds in 2 weeks during the war? As per his wife, I'm beginning to think Usyk on that juice as well. Obviously, he can't stay there for sure. Hey, man, 22 pounds in a week is a lot to lose. That's how you going to lose 22 pounds in a week? That's a lot. Like 22 pounds in a week? That's a lot, man. And, I mean, what, he just refused to eat? I don't even think you lose 22 pounds in a week if you refuse to eat. I think she may be exaggerating there. You know what I'm saying? Tank, 38 years old, man. Yeah, I got you. Yeah, I got you. John Boy in that bill said, man, these trolls so obvious with you, bro. They have a shrine of you in their house, dog. I mean, it's the same dude too, bro, with the same thing. Man, let me try to get you into another argument under another name and insult you and then act like I didn't insult you. Because I think I know your trigger. I understand you, man. I study you. This idiot says he studies me. Like, man, are you for real? You study me? Man, why don't you just talk boxing, bro? That's too fast. What's too fast, man? Now I'm throwing some of the niggas. I'm throwing some of them out of there, dog. I'm telling you, I'm throwing some cats up out of here, bro. For now, because you've been balancing your opinion, I reserve a spot on Lord Haney's royal court for you. Congrats. Much love, brother. I appreciate that, man. I need it. Because, hey, dog, I'm telling you he's a great fighter, man. I do believe he can be a great fighter. I do. There ain't nothing with us. I'm trying to tell you, I ain't seen nobody close to beating the dude. You know what I mean? So there ain't no real criticism for him. Because ain't nobody really came close to beating him. That's why I don't even get it, man. I will tell you, man, I think he needs to beat this dude up to win that fight, though. Just for real. Same thing with Shakur. Shakur needs to beat up Oscar Valdez to win this fight. I believe it about Shakur, too. He's going to have to beat that boy up. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling you. He's going to have to beat those guys up because boxing right now is being scored in favor of aggression. Number one, being scared, being gold miner. I'm not interested in asking your question. I ain't seen your name before, bro. You better be around acting sane for a while. That's my new policy. Sorry, man. Somebody has gold miner. Look, watch this gold miner. Watch this. I'm blocking you. You know why? I blocked you just off that question because you're the same guy. Dog, I'm not doing any more of your new guy. You're not developing a new name and coming back and then, let me see. Let me do it again. Man, go away, bro. If you asking me about a question on a chat if you're asking me for a question about a chat that I ain't said today, I haven't said in probably 5 or 6 chats, but you right there asking me questions about it, but I never seen you before, you're somebody got kicked out the chat, dog. See you later, man. I'm studying you. I'm studying you, guy. I've studied you. I know what you do. You pop up underneath a new name. All of a sudden asking new name with old questions. A brand new name challenging me on old questions. All of a sudden miraculously pops into the chat right after somebody's booted. I'm not interested, man. Go away, bro. I'm going to talk to cats that I know. All right? Sorry. Y'all blew that. You know what I'm saying? You definitely have made people make adjustments to the channel, bro. I shoot on sight for certain things, dog. I'm saying gold miner. All of a sudden, out the blue, a gold miner shows up. You know what I'm saying? Shut up, bro. Sadiq Brown said, the WBC allowing levels of computer all in their fighters for unified champs. Do the other sanctioning bodies allow it? If they go off of that World Anti-Doping Agency, they do, bro. What's going on? Hey, Roz Podcast is the bomb, man. What's going on, Roz? Man, say, man, it's the same. Man, the dude's got a problem, man. That dude got a problem, bro. like I can block him just off sight. Like, I know who you are, man. You can stop it, bro. Man, I don't know what that dude is, man. He probably trying to pan upon himself off as being one, Anyway, Shakur won't be close. I usually agree with you vehemently. I just believe these brothers are taking their destiny. Oh, no, get me wrong, SMA. I don't think it's going to be close either. Because I think he's going to beat Oscar Valdez up. I don't think it's going to be close either because I think Shakur is going to beat him up. That's what I think. Hey, Chris Nunn said, Fanon, you talking real disrespectful, but you throw people out for get out of my face. Get out of here, man. I'm not interested in it, man. Go away, complain to somebody else, dog. The mere topic is going to get you thrown out. I don't care. What does that got to do with boxing, man? If you're going to ask me something about boxing, ask me about something about boxing that is not insulting me. There you go. Sorry, man. I got too many trolls, bro. They keep coming. It's the same people. So you got to get out of here. Sorry, man. You know what I'm saying? I'm not interested. I'm telling you, I'm not interested in the conversation. If you think I'm being disrespectful, go away. You're walking into my living room. I'm not in your living room. I came here, you hit, oh, he's on, let me talk. You know what I mean? Yeah, he said he actually admitted he's studying me. Yeah, and he came back under the same name. Like, he literally, you remember that guy, Muhammad Muslim or whatever? When he came in my stream, like, when he pressed to come in, the dude got in and I looked at it now because now I'm clicking the button and looking at your information before I let you in. And he had that, he went to that same email again, but he changed his screen name. So what I started doing was I started changing his screen name for him. Because when you come, I can change your screen name. If I don't like your screen name, I can just retype a screen name for you. And you'll put your name up there but he couldn't see it. So he jumped out there, he's on there, and all of a sudden the screen name said something he didn't think it was. So I'm like, look, man, no, I'm shooting you guys on sight, bro. I'm not interested in that, man. You guys, you know what I'm saying? Another one bites the dust. Exactly, man. It is what it is, man. You're not a real subscriber. You're not a real supporter. You're obnoxious, man. Ringside with LCD said, we were walking everywhere, every day. What's that, man? They were walking everywhere, every day. Oh, okay. So, yeah. That's what's up. ATX Fly Guy said, love what Spence said on his Showtime episode. I'm afraid It gonna get bad in the ring. That's what makes me train so hard. Oh, I'm afraid of get done bad in the ring. That's what makes me train so hard. I'm good in the ring. Oh yeah, no doubt about it, man. What do I think about Keyshawn Davis? I like him, man. I like Keyshawn Davis. I like him. Big puncher. I like him. Very solid fighter, man. I like him, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he's gonna do, man. Hey, Blacksmith Ross said, King Royal Court Eye said Haney hasn't had a KO killing since the money was called shillings. Hey, God dog, he said he ain't knocked nobody out since he got played in shillings. I hope Haney win, but he not Tank. Join Tank Club, dog. Hey, man, on the real, I cannot imagine what would happen if those two dudes fought, man. You know what I'm saying? Send them to the trail. Oh, man, just go away, man. I ain't interested in y'all, man. I'm not interested in you. Seriously, man. It's the same guy, man. It's literally the same guy. Same 2 or 3 guys, man. Ain't that many people out there in the world that committed to stupidity. Musar said, Ugas, what is it? Ugas needs to teach us how to lose that much weight in a week. Needs to teach us how to lose that much weight. Ugas, man, Ugas look like he's thin all the time. I've seen him in between fights, man. That dude don't pick up a lot of weight, man. You know? He don't pick up a lot of weights, man. He don't pick up a lot of weight. You know? He doesn't. Seriously, though, man. That's why you got to get, because, dude, they act like they're new people. Man, ain't not new, man. Come on, man. Same people come to this chat every day, and I thank you for your support. The same trolls come every day. The same supporters come every day. The same cats that support in the Cash App and the Super Chat, y'all support every day, and I appreciate y'all, man. Very, 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 very much, man. I really, really do. Not answering that question, man. You must mean Usyk. Usyk about what? I must mean Usyk with what? Must mean Usyk with what? About what? Oh, Usyk about he was walking everywhere, so he lost 20 pounds in a week because he was walking everywhere and he was just drinking water and all that. Hey, man, that could be, man. Could be, dude. Maybe I need to walk everywhere for a week. You know what I mean? Okay, no doubt about it. Yeah, I got you, man. Yeah, I would love to see Tank. Oh, hey, man. Jervonta Davis's camp said they would love to see that fight. Hey, man, but I thought, hey, man, Big Strike said, we appreciate you too, King. Hey, brother, I appreciate you, man. I mean, for real, I do. You guys make it, it's enjoyable to do this every day, man. It's enjoyable to do it every day. And I really, 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 really appreciate it, man. Yeah, war is stress too, man. You know, I'm sure it is, man. Sure it is, bro. Thanks, Tago Rose. Appreciate it, man. But look, I'm going to get up out of here a little bit early today. Thank y'all so much for your support in the Super Chat. Thank you so much. Let me make sure I check this Cash App real quick. Thank y'all for putting shame to these dudes by supporting the Cash App and the Super Chat, brother. I'm telling you, it is huge. It means a lot. And speaking of the devil, hold on one second. Speaking of the devil, my man, the Jones Consulting said, Lord Devin Haney gonna hurt and school Kambosos. Hey, man, that's what's up. Where did this Lord Devin Haney stuff come from, bro? I like that, though. I do like that Lord Haney stuff. That's a nickname. That's a nice nickname, bro. Much love in that Super Chat, brother. That Cash App, brother. Thank you. That means a lot. Thank you, man. Yep, and I'll be back tomorrow. You know what I mean? Big Strike say you my boxing pastor. Thank you, brother. All right, man. I'm out with that. I'm out. Deuces.